start the recap there.
You can start the recap. Go for it.
Oh, good. When last we left our party, Yolia had left in the night to rescue Virtue without so much as a goodbye. To make up the numbers, they had to hire a mercenary named O'Malley, and they set out to Dragon's Rest to aid in the brewing civil war. Oh my god. They were sent to a Colossus fort named Rangewatch to find a weapon to help against the Fang of Immolation. They defeated two ancient dragons named Artemi and Zetos and retrieved both a spear that seems to be repellent to dragons and an oscillator that seems to weaken and repel dragons within a certain range. Now they must return to the Queen of Dragons to receive their rewards and to find out what can be done with these new items. More dangers lurk in the near future, unbeknownst to them. That's a problem for another day. And with that, I will start the background music and give you a brief description of where you currently are and a little recap of what's going on. So, where we ended the session, you guys had gone back in and fetched the oscillator after discussing with Francisca after she returned to consciousness. You currently have the twice dead corpse of Artemi decaying on the ground next to you. And a journey ahead of you, although Francisca still seems like she'll probably need a little bit of rest before she's ready to fly again. You have some new items in your possession. Of course, there is the spear, the oscillator, and the dagger, which I believe Erlan picked up.
I believe I gave it to Rob, but
Might have done. Whoever's inventory it is in.
we have it.
Not mine. Right, so I didn't write him.
Maybe I did keep on to it then.
I was going to say, no, Alex wouldn't have it. Well, O'Malley wouldn't have it.
O'Malley's only got the spear. Because that's something I went and grabbed and pulled out. I don't know who picked up the. I don't know who took the knife.
It was an iron dagger with engravings of clouds.
Yeah, Matt took it and he was going to give it to Art.
Yeah. Okay then. I thought so. Thought something along those lines.
So what's it called? I just iron dagger. I'll just
So I mean, you'll get a name in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But, I was just asking so you can figure out whose inventory it should be in, so it doesn't get forgotten.
It will go in my.
Francisca will speak up and say, "I'm not really up to flying right this second. I've just sort of come back to it. But before we set off, I can identify the items that you guys picked up. The dagger," and she takes a look at the spear and goes, "I suppose that as well." And I think any of you with any sort of level of insight this is at the very least half an excuse just to buy some time so she can master herself because she's still feeling a bit shaky.
Well, I'm fine to sit and wait. If everyone else is, obviously.
We could take a
rest,
we
should
take a long rest.
She looks tired.
I mean, you guys all just sort of came out of a short rest while you were waiting for her to come back up. She's like, I need 20 minutes.
Another short
rest. Identify takes 10 minutes to cast as a ritual, so I can cast Identify twice and be okay by the end of that. But,
short rest?
Yeah. Just you guys...
However long...
Let's take a quick nap.
Okay, so if everyone is okay with waiting around and is okay with handing over the dagger and the spear,
is
I
it
think
a safe place to rest?
Well, you killed all the enemies.
Yeah, I doubt there's anything coming
it's been
here
cleared
for a while.
out.
At least for a little while.
Yeah.
I think she would ask that you just set the spear down on the ground rather than her actually touching it. And she will ritual cast. I think first on the dragon. First on the dagger. And she will say, "This is a very old dagger of dwarven make. It's probably something that was originally made pre-calamity, and its name is Returning Gus. And with that, I will show what it does to everyone. This curved iron dagger has engravings on the blade depicting clouds being blown by the wind. As a free action, you can have the dagger turn to mist and return to your hand. And also, it, unlike most weapons, when thrown as an offhand attack, that is, using a bonus action while dual wielding, you are still able to deal the full damage, whereas normally you're not able to add the ability modifier to the damage. As well, that is a +2 magic weapon.
Wait, so what is it? It's a dwarven.
It's called Returning Gust.
That's a pretty decent little dagger, that.
It should have popped up on your screen, Rob.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I was in dim window. Cool.
With that, I think she will probably hand it back to Ott, who had it previously.
Thank you.
And say, well, it's not a difficult weapon to wield. I'm sure that once any of you were attuned, any of you could wield it, but I imagine it would probably suit you better than most, Ott.
Yeah, sounds good. Wait, so we've got a tune to it then? Or is it a...
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, it does require attunement. I should put that in.
Yeah.
My mistake. Where's attunement? Yep. Save changes. There we go. The other one is... Oh shit, this one requires attunement as well. The other one is Crimson Bane. Spear. Save changes and show to players. There we go. Yeah, she again takes 10 minutes to cast the ritual because she's tapped out of magic and needs to do this the slow way, and as well she's trying to buy time. However, this is a very powerful dragon-slaying spear. Particularly, it was created to restrain the Fang of Immolation, and after he's been weakened, it should be capable of completely immobilizing him, which I'm assuming is how the Colossi actually managed to seal him away in the first place. They must have used this to capture him. That oscillator that knocked me out, it only got stronger after you retrieved this weapon. I'm guessing that there was some sort of mechanism set in that if they ever needed this spear for anything, they probably also needed that thing to be outputting at full power.
Wasn't running at full power?
When it knocked me out, I certainly hope that was full power. To be honest, I'm impressed the thing was even still running after millennia.
Old bit of cog. Oh, that's how you spell wyvern. Okay, sorry.
I'm pretty sure that's how you spell wyvern.
No, I just never seen it written.
Yeah.
So how's she doing with resting?
Sort of like after the 10 minutes it's taken her to do each of these, she's sort of like a little bit of colour has returned to her face, and she seems to be moving a lot less shakily. She said, "I can probably transform now if you guys are ready to depart. We've still got a long journey ahead of us."
Yeah, I think we're ready.
I think we're ready, yeah.
So for now, Ott is hanging on to the dagger, and Mali is hanging on to the spear. Is that correct?
Yes.
It's in everyone's inventories.
Yeah, we'll be in a minute.
Okay, I'm just going to edit these so that they are specifically in the journals of the people who have them, so that it doesn't clutter everyone's journals.
What's it's 1d8 normally, isn't it? The damage die on a spear.
I will double check
1d10.
for you. I feel like it's a D8. 1 second. I have the book. Equipment. Because it's a simple melee weapon. Armor. Weapons. Here we go. Spears are 1d8, but it's versatile. So if you wield it with 2 hands, it becomes 1d10.
Ah, I see.
It also has a thrown range. Hang on, sorry, no, it's 1d6 versatile to 1d8.
Right. Okay. Okay.
It also has a thrown range of 20 to 60. So disadvantage on the attack if it's further than 60 feet away. Oh, sorry, further than 20 feet away. However, with that, Francisca will transform back into her draconic form and give you guys a lift back to the back to Dragon's Rest. Ordinarily on foot, this is a journey that would take you at minimum a couple of days, although as the crow flies on a very large dragon, this is a journey that's over in a matter of hours.
You could say as the dragon flies.
As the dragon flies, but a dragonfly is a different thing. So, you guys will return to Dragon's Rest, and Francisca will fly you straight down into the city and ask you probably where you want to be dropped off. Either you could go back to Francisca's mostly empty tower where you rested previously. You could go check up on Vero and Everan. And Francisca would ask that you give her some time to meet with her mother before you return straight to her.
It was Logan. It was Vero that was asked to search around for Mali, wasn't it, to see if there was anyone looking to
hire.
Yeah, for his interesting quirk that seemed to.
Yes, it was. You've only been away less than a day so far, so he won't have turned up many answers yet.
Right.
However, Vero is looking into that for you. Everan is the one who is in charge of zombified, finding out about zombified Artemy.
Yes.
And alternatively, you guys have been through quite a lot, and if you just wanted to rest and sleep, then Francisca's Tower is where you've had lodging previously. Although it's not comfortable.
I made it comfy.
Mm-hmm. So it's she will pose the question to you guys and ask, what you guys want to do.
We can stay in Francisca's tower.
Okay. So she will fly down and drop you off back at her tower. Again, to reinstate, the tower is sort of the bottom half of what was once an old guard tower. There's only 3 floors of small circular rooms, very little furnishing, only some bedding and things that were scavenged by Risu last time you stayed here.
And a big hole in the wall where the dragon flew in.
No, the giant hole in the wall is Everan's lair. That's how he gets in and out. But Francisca transforms down into human form every time she wants to enter, so it has a doorway.
She respects her abode.
Her abode that she is very rarely in, yes. Because, of course, Francisca normally doesn't live within this city. But she does have a small residence here. And she says, with that, I'm going to have to ask you guys to fend for yourselves for a few hours while I discuss what's happened with our mother. She'll want to know that 2 of her sons are dead, whether they be exiles or not, and I'd like to let her know about what we found ahead of time, as well, so that she can prepare your rewards. And with your permission, she takes her leave and leaves you all at the tower.
Bye
See you
bye,
later.
dragon.
Hmm.
So at this
So-
point,
Yeah, carry on.
I was just going to say, at this point when she leaves, O'Malley just goes, finds somewhere to chill and just kicks up feet.
Hmm.
And just chills out for a bit.
And Matt, if you
Yes.
would like, this is probably as good a time as any to unveil your newest creation.
Well, this place sucks. I'm gonna be honest. Like, look at it. We're literally fucking sleeping on rags, right? I've got something up my sleeve, and
Offended bird.
I strum at my loot, and out of nowhere, seemingly, like bricks kind of just cobble their way together from the surrounding area, and a little inn is formed. And that is my new spell, Erland's Magnificent Mansion. But I thought it more touching to make it an inn. So come on, guys, and I kind of like usher everyone over, and we start heading towards just a small little inn door. And as we walk inside, people kind of see just a little bar, some tables dotted about, but more importantly, living quarters upstairs, fully furnished whenever we need it.
One thing to mention, the entrance to the inn can be as small as just a single door, but it does not have any effects on the inside dimensions.
The TARDIS?
Oh, I was gonna say.
Kind of. It's a
Yeah.
demi-plane. So technically, while you're in there, you are not considered to be on the material plane.
Oh right, so message wouldn't work across it.
Ooh, neither would scrying or sending or any of the other usual means of contacting or spying on you. This is your own private space.
What happens if the door gets damaged on the outside
I
while
don't
we're in
bel-
there?
I believe it's invulnerable.
Wait,
If
no,
oh, sorry, no, it will kick
No,
you out.
it
Yeah.
kicks everyone out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
Does
won't
that
get
mean-
If
stuck
it was
in there.
dispelled, it
Yeah, is
kicks
this
you
Monsters
out.
Inc?
The dream
Sort
door.
of. Sort of.
Does that mean Erland's rock would be not working?
Can't
think there
spy
are
on
rocks.
you.
Rock's not going to be a problem
Oh, yeah.
anyway.
Rock's not working currently anyway because of the absent range.
I
But
know.
yes,
It was just like,
It's just turned into
Rocky
a dumb
Chan
rock.
would not work within the mansion, or unless the Deep Terror was to somehow enter the mansion himself, at which point I don't think he would need the rock to spy on you.
You vibing? Why not let him in? You vibing?
Well, only creatures that you specify are allowed through the door.
Yeah.
Let
That's
it in.
not saying a powerful creature couldn't force its way in, but yeah. So for you guys, it is. I imagine it's probably like a fairly like quaint, cozy inn.
Yeah,
There
there's like a little
are,
fire.
It's staffed by sort of
Does
spectral.
it have a bar?
It does.
It
And
does.
it's stocked with food and drink. There is a spectral bartender as well as spectral patrons who will step aside and let you take any table or stall you want, since they are technically the staff of this place.
Who owns like I know Matt owns the
Mine.
door, but like who's the groundskeeper, the landlord?
Matt?
Me?
So wait, do we
Yeah,
need to
feel
pay for drinks and then Matt gets our money?
Erland, would you like to charge your
I-
friends the magic
I
drinks
haven't.
that you
We
made
haven't
out of
spoken about
nothing?
monetization yet. I'm thinking of NFTs.
That's
Oh wait,
non-fungible
Ye olde-
delusions.
Yeah, Delusions.
I've got a Yolia fighting action figure.
Oh,
You
that's
do.
pretty cool. That is pretty cool. You can come in for free.
Are you going to mint it?
Indeed, I am. What else am I going to do with it?
O'Malley
Yeah.
has no idea what you're saying, has already walked in, sat down, and has started playing cards with his other self while his other self gets him drinks.
why are you playing with yourself?
Oh, disgusting. Once again, more
Sarah.
disgusting people.
Hmm.
Oh,
Bring the
that's
tone down,
You are-
jeez.
Risu! That's
You are-
gross.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
sorry,
hold on.
Risu.
Wait.
Risu.
Was that shouted out loud?
Yeah.
That's up to Sarah.
disgusting.
No, wait, what she said to O'Malley about O'Malley
Yeah.
while you're playing yourself. Did she?
Oh, what you were asking me? I thought you were
Yeah,
asking
did
if
you-
Nick said
I
my
Did
don't
you
name.
know.
say that
Nick.
in?
No, did you say that?
Go find out.
Okay. Was that then followed by Hyakin saying Risu?
Risu, don't be gross.
At this moment, O'Malley drops all his cards. And
Oh
just
no!
unlocks.
Her name!
The Echo slams its cards on the table and like mocks celebration as though it's just won the game.
I literally grab it by its cheek and turn it towards to now knowing the name Risu and says, "Sweetie, is your name Risu? Is that right?"
No,
Biggest grin on his face. Don't be silly now.
it's really not.
It really is though, because you just had that said to you.
I run off behind the bar.
The bartender sort of like silently motions towards like various bottles of wine and like spirits and beers.
I just grab all of them, start drinking.
Wait, so does this mean there'll be a room for each of us in the inn?
If Matt
Yes.
wishes it, yeah.
Yes,
Wow,
fully
luxury.
furnished.
Do we all get
There's a
en
little
suites?
bird- There's a
Uh,
little bird cage in the corner.
A bird
So
cage.
the exact specifications of this place are whatever Erlan wishes.
Yeah.
He makes a mansion that is laid out and decorated as he pleases.
But the windows, like, if you look out them, what do you see?
Nothing.
Nothing.
In fact,
Yeah.
Whoa.
so there is no
Weird.
way of like going out and like the whole plane is just the manor. But I suppose like you could make like an illusion that looks like the outside world.
No, it's just the void.
Is there
I
a
prefer
breeze?
the idea.
It's
of it
just
being
an empty
void.
white void.
Yeah.
You don't
Did you
fall through it
expect
if you
this
go
many
outside, do you?
questions?
No, because the door.
The door
You
is the
just go
only
back
way in
inside.
or out.
Yeah.
You can't.
If
exit
you
via
fall
the
into the
window.
void, do you fall out the door?
No. It's like a game where you can look
There's
up and you
invisible
can see
walls,
inside it
yeah.
and it just gets
Yeah.
smaller and smaller.
Did you expect this many questions about your pub?
No, I expected as many as you guys want. I'm expecting someone to pick up a box and start clipping through walls in a minute,
Yeah.
but yeah, no.
Like trying to levitate into. the
Yeah,
universe.
exactly.
So I like squint and then start doing
Yeah.
backflips into the wall.
Yeah.
What?
Like, you know, how you
Are
clip
you
it,
trying to
bounce an
run
ocarina
wall?
at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you start doing backflips into the corner until you go outside.
Okay then.
Do like a jumping attack and slide along the
Do-
wall
Do a
behind Milo.
sideways jump.
What was your- what-
Lie prone in this corner over here. I want to dive prone on top of you.
What is
Right.
Hiarkin's like multiple
Right.
different like voice lines put over each other? You know, and they kind of like layer on it as they
Yeah.
try.
Because I'm doing too much at once.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But yeah,
Any
this
creature you
inn,
designate when you cast the spell can enter the extra-dimensional dwelling as long as the portal remains open.
everyone is welcome in the inn. Enjoy your stay. And after literally nearly dying twice today, I go up the stairs and fall
Uh-huh.
asleep. Just face plant the bed and just fall
What's your
asleep.
room like, Matt?
Same as the other.
He's probably got his
Maybe
own
the
bar,
Whiskey.
or like,
table in the
or
corner.
like a fountain
No,
that
is it
infinitely
just
pours
like,
wine.
No, it's quaint. It's an inn. You know, it's familiar.
It's like fairly
I
like
think that's the
nondescript,
thing.
just comfy
Yeah.
beds.
Yeah, exactly. You know, double beds. You know,
Wardrobe
you've got a
dresser.
bird cage. I don't know, like what?
Wait,
really
so-
need in our whole room.
So Rizu's room, is it a cage that's a room, or is it a room with a cage in?
I was thinking either it's that or the attic, which I feel like works the best.
But there's like a little perch. There isn't
Yeah.
a bed.
Yeah, there's a perch, which would make sense.
Is mine the only personalized room?
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Well, you
The
guys are
others,
best friends
like-
now.
We're best
Yeah.
friends like
After you saved my life twice,
twice.
twice.
Is Rizu okay with the attic?
As long as I got light, I suppose, and a
It's a
bed.
void,
But
there is
if
no
I've
light.
just
Oh,
got
it's very,
a perch,
it's
that's
very
kinda
comfortable.
sad.
It's very comfortable.
The perch?
Like,
You tried
there's-
it?
There's a little fire in the attic building. You know, it's right next to like a load of thatched roofing, but you kind of just ignore that.
Yeah,
You know, there's a
cool
nice
window.
rugs. There's like it's comfy. You know, it's like a
Ito
cool
curls
attic
up on
room.
one of the rugs
Yeah.
after like sniffing it a lot.
Can O'Malley's room have a bit of a draft?
Sure.
Yeah,
Can O'Malley's room have a bit of a draft?
The door.
Just slightly
The
annoying
door is
draft.
very drafty. Yeah, it's very drafty, and
The
it doesn't
floorboards are
help.
also kind of creaky,
Yeah,
specifically in O'Malley's room.
For some reason, the
O'Malley
window.
spends 2 minutes in there, realizes how much of an annoyance this is, and goes and sleeps in someone else's room instead.
Unfortunately, the window wasn't like put in correctly in your room, Rob, and the windows rattle a lot because of because the draft in there. So it's just an annoying. Like every so often, you'll just hear like like
Both
the old
O'Malley
Ariba train.
and Ott are having an awful
Yeah.
night.
Yeah,
Wow, I'm
It's
glad
not
I got a
great.
customized room. It's amazing.
At this point, the annoyance of the room in O'Malley's, he literally walks out and tries to find Hierkins.
Okay.
well, Hierkins is just I feel like a big library.
I was
like,
gonna
loads of
say,
books.
Uh-huh.
It's
Can
a
I have
coffin.
loads of weird fantasy fiction from Erland's
Fiction,
mind?
yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like
It's all made up. It's stories that Erland has made up, so
Yeah.
they're kind of like just weird and like anticlimactic.
yeah. I'm not a great storyteller,
They just
I
don't make any sense.
More of a
Yeah.
songwriter.
Songwriter.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
If O'Malley comes in my room, I'm just going to read to him all night.
I hope he doesn't
Can-
come in your
can-
room. Like,
Can
He
your
might.
captain's bed be a coffin?
What?
Jesus
Oh, his
Christ.
bed be a coffin.
Yeah.
So, for the sake of this, I think it's fun that like if you guys make any requests, Erland can make the
Yeah.
changes on the fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the house alive like in Enchanted?
No,
not
no, it's just an
sentient,
inn.
no.
It's just an inn.
Okay.
Like a comfortable inn.
But you can change it at will.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I feel like you guys shouldn't be in there. Like it happened,
Well,
just
it's
in case you just
changing.
get like crushed between a wall.
Yeah.
Like, a couple
Every door
walls or
slams in your
something like that.
face. That's
Yeah,
what-
exactly. But there you go, guys. Enjoy your peace.
It's my
night
new
of
favourite
peace.
place. I hate it, but I
Thank
love
you.
it.
I'll enjoy your odd fan fiction.
hmm
I'm going to wake
Right.
everyone up in the middle of the night by destroying
Is
the
that
entire
a
building.
long rest for us then?
It's a long rest. Everyone regains all their health, all their spell slots, and 50% of their total hit dice, as well as any like class features and abilities that come back on a.
Does it count if I'm using the spell? So to let everyone know, it is a 7th level spell slot, so it's not particularly cheap to make this thing.
You would get the spell slot back by taking the long rest.
Yeah, okay,
And,
that's all good.
It's not concentration, and it lasts for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So you have enough time to cast it and then
So-
rest within the place.
Does he maintain concentration while asleep?
It's
No,
not
you don't need
concentration.
to. It's not concentration
Oh.
based. It's just fire and forget.
Okay.
A magic door that can like it doesn't have like infinite space. You couldn't hold an infinite number of people in there, you know. But,
It's enough to make us comfortable. Very comfortable.
So, what could you do this during combat?
I believe it has like an hour-long casting time. I will double
Yeah.
check.
Ah,
It takes a while to cast. It's actually called Mordekainen's Magnificent Mansion, but Mordekainen doesn't exist and Erland does. Casting time of 1 minute.
okay. Fancy.
I feel like that's when you got to make changes, every time the spell's done. You
Mhm.
can't just, while you're in there, request it, because it's already done, the spell's been made.
Okay, so these
Vision.
are like changes that can be made for next time, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Is next time O'Malley could have a coffin. Risu could have a real bed if she requests.
Next time O'Malley will be in a coffin.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Is that a fighting talk kind of thing that he's saying?
Oh, it doesn't
I
say it
mean,
out
you-
loud.
I was probably peed off after the last session.
Yeah. After O'Malley left him to explore the dangers alone.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Granted,
after
you
that.
wandered around in the dark while you had a lantern literally on your belt.
Yeah.
But, that's just the wisdom in play, right? You were role-playing, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's all part of the -2 wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a comfortable night provided to you courtesy of a 7th level spell slot. And I think like you guys wake up to like a knocking on the front door. Or like no, I think one of the spectral servants would like come up and wake up Erlan and be like, Master, there's someone knocking on the front door.
Yeah, I go down my gym jams.
Uh-huh.
You got Jim
Open the
Jams?
door.
Flap is open.
Of course I got gym jams. Why wouldn't I have
What
gym
colour are
jams?
they?
Huh.
Are they leather? Do you sleep in leather? Just leather.
Who on
nothing
this
else.
earth, Rob, who on this earth has ever worn leather gym jams?
Interestingly, there's a pair of jeans in Hierarchin's room.
I was about to say the leather gym jams stay on.
Erlan didn't even specify it; they were just there.
Mm.
The house knows.
The spectral. So you come down in your nondescript gym jams.
Mm.
Do you have like one of those floppy like sleeping caps as well?
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little I have a little like light, you know, that they hold with their finger,
Uh-huh.
and a little candle that
With
sits
a little
on it.
candle and
Yeah,
on a
candlestick.
saucer. Yeah.
Mm. I've got my piss pot because I got to throw that out in the morning. Don't want it to stink up the
Mhm.
place.
Are you carrying your chamber pot with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna check outside.
You get what? You
Right.
check out the door out the window. If it goes out the window, where's it go?
It goes
the
into
wall.
the
Why
Back
didn't
in
you
through
make a
someone else's
toilet?
window.
Why didn't you make a toilet?
I was going to say plumbing exists in this world.
I didn't think to make it.
Okay.
Not
Erlan
necessary.
doesn't understand how plumbing works, therefore he
Mm.
can't create it.
Yeah,
Huh?
exactly.
It's going to have to be something you guys teach him.
Or the
So
whole
that means
place
we've
just
all not
floods.
got toilets.
You've all got a
We
chamber
have
pot.
to
You
throw
literally-
out the non-existent
make-
windows.
I literally sit here, make an entire fucking inn for you guys to sleep in, and you're complaining about the fact you have to use a piss pot. Like,
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
put that
you guys are
Hey,
something
O'Malley's
grateful.
not complaining.
That-
He's pissing in the
That's-
street.
As your best friend, please.
You have to learn how plumbing works, Erlan. Please.
You're a bird. You already shit on the floor.
No. Shit in your head.
The knocking persists.
I open the door.
Francisca is standing there looking perturbed and looks at the doorway and like puts her hand as though there's an invisible wall and says, Erlan, what the fuck have you done in my house?
Come in, come in.
And
Would you like
her hand
coffee?
like passes through as though you know she's now been invited in. Then
Put
comes
the
in,
people.
like jumps in, like gives like a little bit of distance away from Erlan, and looks around and goes, "You've made a tavern in my house.
Yeah. And?
Is this a spell that you cast?"
Yeah.
I don't know this spell.
I learnt it. I'm really cool at that.
Wait, hang on.
It's really cool, like, for fuck's sake.
If he cast the spell in the absent range, did he have to roll any extra?
The way that we spoke about before is the absent range's effects are less extreme here within the city itself. So, like, if you guys were to get in combat, I would essentially have you like rolling the D100, but this
Oh,
isn't in combat.
For
I'm not
general stuff.
gonna-
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
it was like everything you would
But,
apply.
like, RP stuff. I'm not. It would just bog the game down, I feel.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, I will just allow you to do that sort of stuff when it's just general RP stuff. Yeah, she steps in and goes, "Well, you've made a very cozy tavern. I was expecting something a lot more ostentatious. When I saw the doorway, does this last forever? What is this?"
Lasts an hour. Well, that's 24 hours. Takes a minute to make. My creation.
That's incredible.
We forgot toilets.
That's less incredible. And she like pulls up a bar stool and what sort of food is available?
I have to ask, like, does the dragon use toilets? Like, do they change to human form to toilet, or do they do big dragon poos?
Big dragon poos, I'd imagine.
We don't
You
have
know-
a pot big enough.
That's something that you would have to ask her.
Hey, Francisca, question. Before you continue, I know it's very important, but I have a very important question. When you need to go potty, do you potty as a human or a dragon? And if you potty as a dragon, do you have human-sized poos or dragon-sized poos? And
Pubes. Were you about to say dragon-sized pubes?
pubes, poos?
He looks mildly terrified right now.
And if you poo as a human, do you still have human-sized poos or is it dragon-sized poos?
He desperately tries to catch the attention of the spectral bartender and asks what food is available here, and is just trying to ignore Ott and his horribly uncomfortable question.
I've never met a dragon
like,
before. Before you.
I feel like ye olde two meat and two veg would make very, very much sense. You know?
Ye olde meat and 2 veg
Yeah.
for breakfast.
Yep.
Oh, she's a dragon. She'll eat meat and 2 veg for breakfast. She doesn't give a damn.
We haven't really thought of a breakfast menu yet. You know, we're quite a new place, and people are already complaining about the fucking shitting situation.
Yeah.
So, you know.
We've got other things that need fixing. She says.
Yeah.
Francisca says, I can teach you how plumbing works if you need.
Please do.
Please do.
I refuse to engage in this any longer.
I do want a pea pot. I'm a lady. I'm a ladybird.
No, Ladybird is a bug.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You know what I mean?
Someone's very upset by this.
All of you are bought out an identical meal of, meat and 2 veg. It's peas and carrots with a lovely, I don't know, like a ham, like gammon steak.
Very cheap piece of meat, I would add.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
not
little bit
very
bristly.
luxurious.
You
Yeah.
can literally make anything, by the way. This is made from your imagination.
And you could make it taste like anything too.
It tastes a lot like the pipe ash that he's been like dumping like all over the kitchen.
Oh,
Like
lovely.
the kitchen does not smell. It just smells of like some really nice meat notes, but then it also just smells of like something is wrong in there. You know, maybe a piss pot or two is being used at the same time.
This is the most Erlan thing I've heard in my life. That
It's
he
not a
makes
brilliant
his
place.
magnificent mansion into like something borderline inhospitable.
Erlan, I'll have
Perfect.
all the bacon and eggs you have. And listen to me. I didn't say a lot of bacon and eggs. I said I'll have all the bacon and eggs you have.
We have no bacon. We have no eggs.
This is very
We have
disappointing.
meat. We have meat and 2 veg.
Can I have just meat?
You know,
Hey,
you guys never.
Where's my veg with meat?
You guys never responded to my invite, so I didn't know like if you guys had dietary issues.
Yeah, you
know,
like
it's kind of-
RSVP'd.
Oh,
Yeah,
I gave
exactly.
you my wrong address, so
Oh well, there you go then. You know, it's a bit your fault there.
it's difficult when you're traveling around as much as I do.
You
Mm.
travel together.
Exactly. You know how much I travel. I don't
We
an
have no
address.
fixed address. We literally don't own a house.
I'm of no abode.
But that's where you're wrong, because I definitely have my own place.
You live with your mother.
It's still mine!
It's your mother's.
Is that Francesca saying that?
He doesn't know. That's the DM.
Oh, okay.
I think that
Whoa, what's the
you
DM?
get like a really smug look from the echo, and you infer that that's what the echo is saying.
Okay.
But the very uncaring barkeeper, you
Mhm.
know, he brings out everyone's meat and 2 veg, and we all sit around on the tables, and I guess we all look at Francesca, kind of just waiting for her to say something.
She is busy tucking into her meal and says, "There's a really weird taste to this, Erlan. Is it? I don't know if it's because it's magic or if it's because it's you, but this place could do with a little bit of improvement."
Amali quite literally just turned around and said, "Why does this taste like shit?"
What are you, ye olde health inspector? Eat your goddamn food, right?
You guys all have a very hearty breakfast, and over said hearty breakfast,
Okay.
Francisca will Francisca will fill you in on her discussions, and she will say, "Well, The good news is our mission has been successful. While my mother isn't exceptionally happy that 2 of her children are dead, she does at least understand why and how it has happened. She has promised some of your rewards ahead of time. The alliance that you were after, Risu, I'm afraid, as was already discussed, is probably going to require more than just this one mission. But given all of your performances here, some of the other rewards can be moved forwards, as well as a small amount of money given to each of you. First of all, the cash reward that O'Malley asked for can be provided up front now, as well as the card that Hyarkin was promised can be provided now. My mother has already been working on the ritual while you were away. On top of that, she looks at Erlan, takes another bite from the food, and grimaces and says, as well as that, my mother has said that it's probably for the best that we deal with your rock problem sooner rather than later.
Indeed it is. Let us go.
Mhm.
I wish to be gone of this foul rock, so I can live in my peaceful inn. I
Did you
think,
all not eat any of the food?
as you kind of look around, one of the small little details is a very shittily scrawled 5 stars, like framed, like very off kilter,
Mhm.
on the wall, and I go, I can rest in my 5-star abode, and as I pat it, it just falls to the floor and smashes.
Like this slate with 5 stars drawn on it just shatters on the ground.
Yeah,
One of
yeah.
the spectral staff comes over with a dustpan and brush and sweeps it up.
Yeah.
Does it reveal a 1-star or a 0-star?
There's nothing. There is
No.
nothing.
There's like a
Behind it.
small hole in the wall that it was covering.
you can't even be bothered to magic another one back in its place.
At this point, after saying this, O'Malley turns to the echo and says, Christ, and I thought that pub was pretty shit.
The Echo shrugs. Yeah, he seems to be having a good time here.
Well, that's because you've got other people you can play in with. No one else would touch you back at our place. These weird, invisible people.
The Echo has already formed a secret handshake with one of the bartenders. However, Francisca says, one other thing, Ott, you asked for safe passage through Dragon's Rest.
Yeah.
At the very least, that can be provided for all of you fate touched in exchange for this, so long as you remain allies to Dragon's Rest and are on your best behavior. You will not be bothered while you move about within the city. You'll be given free reign. And with that, she stands up and picks up her plate and says, "Do I bring this back to the bar, or do they collect it, or?"
You guys are asking too many questions. Let's just get out of here.
Throw out the window.
She looks at the plate, very slowly reaches over, and then stops and considers for a second before dropping it on the floor and letting it smash. She's like, I'm not sure whether to feel bad about that or not.
Is it not stress relieving?
Here, you can smash
But it
mine.
is.
People smash things to relieve stress, you know.
You're not
Hey.
welcome in ye olde cock and ball anymore.
Me?
I stare at the dragon who smashed one of my beautiful priceless plates on the floor.
What's the design on the plate? Is it a spoon's plate?
Yeah, it's identical to a spoon's plate. But the prices of this pub are rather extortionate. You guys obviously never pay, as I just tell them to keep it on your tab. But to an ordinary passerby, they'd need to take out a small loan.
Francisca looks at you and goes, "Can other people visit this place? This is on a demi-plane, right?"
I know. Any demi planes come past, fly past. Oh yeah, planes don't exist in this universe.
She just leaves the inn. Like everything
in your
that you
eyes, you
say
can see.
seems to dumbfound her.
In your eyes, you just read Francisca has left.
Mhm.
Left the chat.
Yeah. Well, I hopped down to the cellar down below, which is always it has a mysterious, like it has an obnoxiously large key that I have in my pocket, and I pull it out, and I look behind my shoulder as I go down. I disappear for about 5 minutes, and I return back up, and right, I'm ready to go. Let's go. I gesture everyone to the door.
This is the in-universe explanation for where Matt gets all of his weird stuff. Well, sorry, where Erlan gets his like infinite wine supply and coffee and whatnot.
Mm,
Wait, can I take a closer look at that key?
no. And I just kind of move it to my other pocket, right? Just out of pure fear. I know what this man is capable of.
Uh-huh.
This man wants me dead.
I can probably replicate the key if he's got a like a lock picking. That's part of his character. He can pick locks. I'm sure if
Yeah.
he sees a key, he can probably figure out how to break into whatever.
Yeah, probably. No lock shall stand between you and Erlan's infinite wine
I'm
supply.
going to be honest. If you dare open that door, you'll be met with a Lovecraftian horror which knows no bounds, which would make you tear
Creature
your
in
eyes
the
out.
basement.
Yeah, exactly.
Appeals.
That's where they come from.
Mm.
Yeah.
He has to feed it the bananas. Anyway,
Feed it small fucking birds which complain about not having a fucking toilet all the time. Piss take.
so much for your friendship. It's already strained.
Yeah, like I always try to make everybody comfy when they sleep, but you know what? Fuck it. Depressed bird.
This giant dragon's place has no toilets because
Finally
the
has her
fucking
name
years.
revealed out of her own to the one person she hates most in this entire party. Then she gets abused by
Sorry.
what she thought was her best friend.
Right, all I'm saying is this fucking dragon's rest, right? The dragons live in fucking ancient homes which they just destroyed because they just don't give a shit. There is no working toilet out there. As I push the door open, you see a golden sunlight beam from the top of this hill, and a toilet is sat there right at the top.
It's just this
Beautiful,
proper golden
yeah,
throne.
yeah. There's like a waterfall behind it. Like, it looks amazing. It looks
As
like
you
the
walk,
best shit
as
in
you
the
open,
world.
you're like, "Now, excuse me, I need the loo," and close the door behind you.
I throw my piss pot out the door and I return it to my room. Maybe we can
You hear
start
Francisca yell from outside.
Oh.
We can start our journey.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, Francisca is waiting, stood next to a puddle of Erlan piss. And she just like scowls at Erlan and then waves her hand and magics it away. And says, "Right, well, if we're all quite done with the lovely inn that you have created in my home, my mother is waiting for us all."
Let us go.
And yeah, with that, once again, you are led through the streets of Dragon's Rest, the not exceptionally long distance through, although, like, again, it's sort of an inconvenient place to travel because it's a place where most creatures would fly through it. There's, ruins and rubble, and it's just like picking your way through a ruined city. Everything takes a little bit longer than it should. But eventually you reach the enormous black obelisk that stretches up above the clouds. Around it are various statues of monarchs and deities which have been brought here as tribute by the other dragons and used to decorate the exterior of the tower. And the enormous stone doors stand open along the long hallway to the central chamber.
Before we go in, I turn to our guy and say, "Do you know the toilet isn't here?"
Francisca looks at you and says, "You're trying to trick me into answering Ott's question right now."
No, I'm desperate. I need the toilet. Like, I give it a stare. Do I? Right, I'm gonna have to charisma roll this. I.
What's
I'm
this,
gonna
like
do.
persuasion?
Yeah, I'm gonna persuasion that I really need the toilet right now. Like, I'm dead. Like, I'm gonna shit myself in front of the queen. It's gonna be pretty embarrassing.
That's
Does
perception.
that pass?
25.
That's perception, not persuasion.
Yeah.
That is
Oh
perception.
shit.
Try again.
Oh,
20. That's actually not enough. No.
Damn
She looks at you horrified and goes, "This... I don't know, man. I don't live here. This is my mother's place." Like, she begins panicking and, like, scurries off and, like, starts, like, leaning on the walls. It's like, there's got to be some sort of passage here. There's got to be more than just a hallway that leads to the central chamber. There's got to be some other way to get around this obelisk from, like, before we all moved in here. And eventually she, like, finds, like, a little hallway into, like, a little, like, abandoned broom closet and goes,
There's your toilet.
"Take it or leave it, man. This is the best I can do for you.
all I do is go in,
I can magic it away after."
and I leave the tap running, and I just walk out, and that's all I do. A sign of disrespect against this establishment.
Oh, where do the dragons go?
Why is everyone asking this question? What is wrong with you all?
Do dragons poop?
Important law.
How
Who
big are the poop?
actually cares? Seriously.
I care now that I know that Francesca doesn't know where the toilet is.
I
I
know where the
turn ar-
toilet is in her, like, mother's enormous tower of terror.
What?
I
She's been here for
quickly,
days.
I quickly turn around to Hyakin and ask him, "Do you know anything about the toilet habits of dragons?" And I hope that he would make it,
Can I,
intelligence.
Yeah,
check.
can I roll intelligence?
Nature check.
Nature? I mean,
Hmm.
Okay.
With a 17. Dragons tend to be, isolationist creatures, which very little is known about them. Most people who study them tend to be more interested in things like their innate magic, their breath weapons, the natural properties of various alchemical ingredients that can be created from their, like, scales and teeth and blood and bones. Not so much their toilet habits.
Toilet habits is a natural property.
Apart from
But not a
Hierarchy,
magical
Lucky.
He?
That's
Lucky.
lower. And you have
now
to
he's
take
forgot
the
all about
new-
dragons.
Yeah, you have to take the new roll. Therefore, you know none of that. You go, I don't know, do dragons poop?
Wait, what?
Well, I'm. Be sorry.
My
So she
IQ
must-
just dropped.
Jeez.
Amali's
Dragons
already low
definitely-
IQ is dropping by the second because of the stupidity of this entire conversation.
What are you saying,
Francis-
dragons?
You know who would have loved this conversation?
The queen.
Yolia. And then we kind of look around in agreement with everyone.
I'm pretty certain, out of character, I'm pretty certain she really fucking wouldn't. And have probably punched you about 5 times by this point by the stupidity of the entire conversation.
Yoli would have thrown both of us at the wall.
Yes, quite easily.
Francisca looks at you and says, "Okay, things have gotten really out of hand. Can we please just come along to the central chamber?"
Right, sorry, 2 last questions. What entertains dragons?
Money.
At this point,
Money.
Amali's got his maul and has put it to your head and says, "You keep talking, and I will put this through your fucking face."
I was gonna. What, Matt?
I'm sorry. I was going to say, Logan, can any of this, like, bickering be heard? Like,
Yeah, it echoes down the hallway, like really far, and Francisca looks really embarrassed.
Echoes to the city. I was going to ask the sort of question of how many TVs does the Queen have? Sort of, but you can't really deal with money. But yeah, how much money does the Queen have?
An infinite amount. A functionally infinite amount of money.
Cool. Yeah, I'm done. We can see the Queen now.
Okay. Francisca will finally transform back to her draconic form and lead you down the hallway towards the enormous pile of gold and jewels and art and statues and ornate chests. Above the entrance are the two particularly large black dragons who eye you all hungrily on the way in. And sat asleep upon the top of the treasure pile is the small pseudo dragon who would look Erlan in the eye. And Erlan, you hear in your mind, I heard all of that, you fucking freak. And with that, he's like the size of a chihuahua, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah, pseudo dragons are tiny.
Oh.
And yeah, with that, he will like get up, stretch like a cat, and then flap his wings and take off, flying to the like flying through an exit on the opposite end of the room to announce your arrival. And a few moments later, as you're sort of left in the room with the two very hungry-looking black dragons and Francisca, you begin to hear the enormous, like thundering footsteps of the Queen, and you begin to hear like the sound of the opposite side of this enormous pile of gold shifting before eventually her head finally emerges over it, along with the rest of her enormous body. It's all red and black, red and gold scales. She looks down upon you all and says, in like telepathically to you all, so you have been successful in your mission. Please present the artifacts that you have recovered.
Yeah, I was going to bring out
The oscillator.
Wait, who was it? Oh no, I was going to say
We all just had the oscillator. You just all
Okay,
dismantled
well.
it. So yeah, basically the oscillator. At this point, O'Malley's like, "Well, I found this really nice silvered greatsword." And then it says, "I don't really think you want this," so puts it back. "But you do want this," and pulls out the spear and just like pulls it into the air.
Mm-hmm. What's your passive insight?
My passive insight is I'm pretty.
I think it's fairly high, right?
Insight. Yeah, 18.
Okay. You, as soon as this spear becomes visible, you like begin to feel like hostility directed towards you.
From all directions or just directly?
Every dragon in the room.
Put
they
that
growl.
down.
Just there is an instinctive thing of any dragon who sees this item radiates malice towards them.
Right.
So
looking around, he
whosoever
totally
holds it.
pulls it down to his side and says, "Well, this is the item you all wanted."
The Queen will look down and say to you, lay down the weapon.
Looks at it for a minute, knowing what it does. Looks around the room. How many dragons are there?
There is the two very large ancient black dragons, or at the very least adult black dragons. And there is Francisca and the Queen, who is roughly the size of a passenger jet.
Tosses it towards the pile.
Mm-hmm. It lands, and like for a second, you like I think with your like perception, you would notice like she recoils just like a millimeter as it comes towards her, and then some of the tension begins to leave the room, and the two black dragons return to sort of a more dormant state. And she looks and says, "The other item that you recovered, this oscillator. I'm told that you dismantled it."
Yeah, we've all got a piece of the oscillator each. And I get. So did we all pick up a piece of the oscillator then? Remember?
I mean, if you like shared it out between you, it was a mechanical device. So like, if you guys dismantled it, you can have all kept separate parts of it.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Ott's going to hand his piece over.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone make notes on how to build it?
None of you guys, I think, would have the technical know-how.
I don't think any of us are engineers.
You would probably need someone who is more skilled at artifice to actually recreate or find a way of weaponizing this. Which the Queen will say as much and say, "This thing, Francisca has told me that it was able of outputting a sound that was actively harmful to dragons. It prevented both the transformation of her and of Zetos. And when it was operating at full capacity, it was able to render her unconscious.
That's
I
right.
can imagine that if applied correctly, such a weapon can give us an edge. However, unfortunately, in its current state, it's non-functional, but if it was simply reconstructed exactly as it was, it would be as much a danger to us as to the enemy. While I would like to have all of this happen with as little outside influence as possible, I don't believe that this is something that we would be capable of weaponizing without assistance from non-dragons."
Would our man at the magic store be able to, have any knowledge
Gareth
on this? Yeah.
is an exceptionally skilled artificer. If anyone could do it, it's possibly him.
I know
Wouldn't do
a
it for
guy.
free, but he could do it.
Out of curiosity, you know how Gareth has that mystical, that kind of clock which changes between each of his locations?
His Howl's Moving Castle door, yeah.
Exactly. We couldn't set one up here and just be like, basically summon him, be like, "Hey, Gareth."
I think what I understand is he has to go somewhere first, isn't he?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of time consuming and expensive to set it up. And as well, this is the absent range.
Okay.
That's like not a definite no, but like it would be a really weird thing for them to allow him to do it. He probably wouldn't get any customers here. Like, it wouldn't be a great investment for him.
We are the first non-dragon entities to be here in centuries, from what I understand.
In centuries, yeah, definitely. Probably, there's been very few since ages who came here. And he was like a post-calamity hero, so... The Queen will say, "Well, since you have been so cooperative, I believe that it is time we provided you with some of your rewards. I asked Francisca to explain ahead of time what you would be receiving. I hope that in future we will also be able to rely on your help. These weapons aren't meant to be wielded by dragons, and I'm sure we will need your assistance in order to employ them against the Fang of Immolation."
You don't need O'Malley's help.
Who says I want to even help against a giant fucking dragon that can't be killed?
Suit yourself.
The Queen will say, "Well, perhaps what comes next will change your mind. First of all, the stone which has caused you all so much trouble. Erlan, if you could present it to me, please."
I get on one knee, I pull the rock out of my pocket, and I put it above my head, bowing. I say no word since that scary little fucking shit on the floor spoke to me. And yeah.
The strange rock with the googly eyes and smiley face drawn on it,
Yeah.
and the queen reaches down with a claw and taps it in your hand, and there is a brief flash of light, and you still feel the object in your hand. And she goes, "Strange. I was expecting that to destroy it."
Uh-oh.
And Erlan, while you still feel there's some sort of magic about this, you no longer feel the curse that previously affected it. And the queen will again tap the stone, and her eyes flash golden as she will identify it for you.
Mhm.
As she says, "This is quite unusual.
Mm.
However, I think it's only good in your hands, Erlan."
Oh.
That I will pop up Rocky-chan.
Rocky-chan!
Is that what it's called?
That's what it's called, Rocky-chan.
Fuck's sake.
This seemingly innocuous
Oh.
rock has been decorated with googly eyes and a smiley face. Despite its dubious origins, it was cared for with love, and now free from its curse, it wishes to express its gratitude. While Erlan is attuned to this item, he gains the effects of the lucky feet.
Ah.
No more
Rocky.
bananas.
I'm more attached to this thing than I've been to any of my D&D characters. Oh, Rocky-chan. That's brilliant. Oh, I'm glad about that. That's a happy way to end this arc. God damn.
I just fucking realised there's so many typos in this, by the way. I need to fix that.
How do I attune to it then? Do I just...
You
You
need
have
to
this.
take an hour to attune to it, and you can only attune to 3 items total.
How do I see what I'm attuned to? Because I'm pretty sure I've already attuned myself to something.
If you, interestingly enough, in the inventory screen,
Yeah.
your first page, there's a little attuned tick box thing. You can, like, obviously, if you put all your magic items in the first page, you can see which
Oh.
one tick to which ones you want to attune to, if they're attunement requirements.
New and better loot.
That's the DOS loot. I'm
Yeah.
fairly sure that will require attunement.
The Dwarf of Elvenkind. Dwarf of Elvenkind? Belt of Dwarvenkind.
Yep. And so I suppose you still have one more attunement slot.
Really? Does he not have like a cloak protection or anything?
don't
Does
think
Cloak of
so.
Protection require attunement?
I'm pretty certain it does,
Oh.
because that's one of the
Hang on.
attuned items on your.
1 second, sorry, Matt. It'll be
Yeah,
on
go ahead.
Yeah, same here.
You do have a Cloak of Protection. Yes, that is attuned.
Oh, okay.
So I would just put that in your inventory and say that that is attuned as well.
Oh, so it gets
Unfortunately,
four
Belt of
attunement
Dwarvenkind, I think you've got to go, buddy.
I'm doing for you again.
+2 to
Beard.
con, the beard, advantage on persuasion checks against dwarves, resistance to poison.
It's a really strong item you're attuning to there.
But my DOS loot is also, like, incredibly good.
Yeah, I
And the
guess.
Cloak of Protection also gives me an extra AC, which is very useful.
As well as a +1 to saving throws.
I don't want to say goodbye to Rocky-chan.
Rocky-chan looks up at you. The googly eyes seem to tear up for a moment.
Do they blink?
No.
Okay.
They're just little plastic googly eyes.
Oh.
Wait, plastic exists in this plane? In this world?
It does when Erlan is concerned. He seems to have some sort of strange effect on the world around him.
Oh, Rocky-chan.
So yeah, you will have to unattune from something if you wanted to get the lucky feet from Rocky-chan.
I feel like that's a decision I should make later anyway. And
Okay. I mean, it will take an hour to attune anyway, so
yeah.
not something you can do right this second. But I would
Looking
add
forward
Rocky
to-
Chan to your
Chan.
thing, as well as make sure that you have marked that you are attuned to the cloak of protection.
I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to Rocky Chan art.
Sarah, you now need to draw a small rock with googly eyes.
I want it on a shirt.
Very difficult for an artist like you, I know.
Mm.
You're gonna have to commission her. The Queen looks at you and says, "That was a very singular and strange experience. I think you possibly carried this for a lot longer than you were supposed to. However, things seem to have turned out for the best."
I aim Rocky in her direction and I look angry.
The smiley face turns into a frowny face,
Somehow it just droops a bit.
and the Queen seems perturbed for a moment and then says, "Well, next up, I think is probably best to." Oh, sorry. Sorry, doing the wrong voice. Next up, I think is probably best to provide O'Malley with his reward. O'Malley, please step forward.
Saunters forward a couple, 1 or 2 paces.
The pseudo dragon begins to push with his nose one of 5 wooden chests. This one seems particularly heavy.
Goes up to it and
Mhm.
pulls it away for a second and looks quickly at everyone else, making sure no one's looking at him, like properly, like,
Mhm.
and then just quickly flashes inside. How much does he see in there? Just shortly.
Without counting it, it's a small fortune. Like maybe 10,000 gold. It's a lot of platinum pieces and a lot of gold pieces, and there's some gems in there. It's hard to tell the exact number, but it's a lot of money.
Bit of a quick grin on his face. He smiles and says, "Thank you very much, your queen," and picks up the chest and holds on to it pretty tightly, make sure no one else touches it. Doesn't even bother to count the money yet until a bit later. He's not doing it in front of everyone else.
Also very rude to count money when you've been given it.
Is this all you're giving me?
Yeah, exactly. Are you fucking
this
kidding me?
Yeah, but like it's a heavy goddamn chest as well to actually like pick up and carry. If you didn't have such a high strength score, you would have to like struggle with this.
I mean, it's got to be a significant amount of gold if it's in a chest.
The Queen will then say, "For the rest of you, there is also a chest, although there is less money in each of these." And the pseudo dragon looks at you all and doesn't like move to push forwards 4 other chests. However, each of you there is a chest of gold to retrieve, and the Queen will say, "And one final matter. Hyarkin, I believe I made you a promise."
My cards.
She reaches down and picks up her deck of, I think it's about 17 cards, and says, "I promised you that I had prepared a ritual which would separate out only the cards which will be beneficial to you." And with that, 5 cards come out of the deck from various places. They shuffle themselves in the air and return to the top of the deck. She brings the deck down to your height and says, "Please draw 1 card from the deck."
Okay. I drew the King of Hearts.
King of Hearts. 1 moment, please.
Instant
Logan,
death.
Your soul is ripped from
My
your body
soul.
and carried to the pit of Ernest.
I fall to the floor and flames come out my chest
Dead again.
again.
Reroll character. No one's saving you this time, Boyo.
No one's going all the way to the bottom of hell. Here we go.
Hey,
King of
Hamilton,
Hearts.
your time to shine again.
The King of
Okay.
Hearts.
I
Oh,
was sacrificing Rocky.
this is very interesting.
Oh, okay.
So, the card you draw depicts a glorious golden throne, and upon it is a jewel-encrusted crown. At the bottom of the card, in draconic letters, is the word throne. The card then explodes into a burst of light, and in your hand you are holding a piece of paper. It is the deed, as well as a map, directing you towards Castle Hyarkin,
Whoa.
a piece of land that did not previously exist. The deed details that it is currently in the hands of mind flayers, who will have to be removed before
Oh
you
my
can
god. Not
claim
again.
your rightful land.
Oh, we love mind players.
Did he just draw the one that gave him a fucking title in this world?
Gave him a
Yes.
title and,
And a
key.
castle.
He's just become a
You are
fucking
the
lord.
rightful
Whoa.
owner.
I never want to go back to my own realm anymore. I'm staying here.
That
Is this like endgame DLC? Where I get to go and explore my castle?
this is like the Dragon Age Origins DLC. Yeah.
Awesome.
I will read the actual description of the throne card. One moment. The deck of many things. Throne. Oh, sorry. You also gain expertise in persuasion. So if you go to your skills page and change it to say expertise on persuasion.
Cool.
In addition, you gain rightful ownership of a small keep somewhere in the world. However, the keep is currently in the hands of monsters, which you must clear before you can claim
Wait
the
a
keep as
minute.
yours.
A small keep? I thought you said a castle.
Castle, keep, one of the two. It's currently in the hands of mind flayers, which you are going to have to clear out if you want to take it.
That's fine. We can deal with them.
However, this has interesting ramifications for the path ahead of you all. And with that, the deck now one card lighter, the Queen says, I shall have to find that card once again. Unfortunate.
What
However,
did Sarah get from? Oh,
Sarah wished for an alliance with the dragons and
yeah.
was told that she will have to assist much more than just going out and finding the spear, if that's what she wants.
We literally stopped you from getting cooed. You know, I feel that's
That actually hasn't happened.
The civil war has not been averted yet. You have gotten her a weapon that she actually cannot use herself. With that, she will give you all back the pieces of the oscillator and say, I would prefer to hang on to the weapon designed specifically to kill my kind. However, this oscillator cannot be used by us, and I would ask that if anyone is to find a way of making it functional or weaponizing it, I would ask that you be the ones entrusted with that duty.
You know a guy.
You seem quite resourceful. And she will motion to the 4 unclaimed chests of money. Say, hopefully, we will be able to discuss in the very near future a way that we can deal with this upcoming threat. But for now, I will leave you to mull over your rewards and consider whether you would like to continue assisting us. So far, you have been very helpful, and I thank you. And with that, she will, her body and head will disappear over the other side of this enormous treasure pile, and the pseudo dragon will look up at you and say telepathically, "Thank you all for your time. You may now leave."
Oh gosh, he's Zazu.
What?
At this,
He
at
says,
this,
"My name is not Zazu."
at this point, O'Malley's like, quite cheerfully says, "No, thank you," and literally spins on his heels and starts walking out, ready to go and find a place to sit down and count how much money he's just been given.
Are you leaving the spear behind?
Did they want me to take the spear?
You were asked to leave the spear behind. I don't know whether you are going to.
I mean, I threw it towards her. It's kind of
Okay.
away from him now at this point. He's
Okay.
not. Let's just put it this way: is he still being watched by other dragons?
Yes.
Then he's not going to be stupid enough, whether he is actually that stupid, to do something so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You got the vibe as soon as he pulled that spear out.
So, seeming as we have a bit of time, why don't we go back to the best inn in town for some good grub?
It's plumbing.
Meat and potatoes.
I'll just as we pass the dragons that are drooling, I just say to them in Draconic, "You got something here," and that's it.
You hear like what is either a deep, like angry growl or a small chuckle, and it's kind of hard to tell. However, the other one will, in somewhat good humor, say, "Be careful, little one. You would make a nice snack."
I get that a
Got
lot.
that?
However, you would like to return to your tavern, which will still appear for another, 10 or so hours? If it lasts 24 hours, 10, 11,
Yeah, that's
12
24
hours.
hours. Yeah.
So, your journey through the sea once again, back to Francisca's Tower, and into the portal. And, no, I don't think that'll happen just yet. So, you are allowed back into the thing, and the spectral staff will greet Erlan on the way in and say, "Oh, Master, I didn't realize you'd be back so soon."
Yeah, they're all like, one of them's got like a hooker on him,
Uh-huh.
One of them's
Well,
got
a
like,
lot of them are patrons.
yeah,
like
one of them's
yourself,
got
so.
magic dust under his
Uh-huh.
nose, and I don't allow magic dust in my establishment,
Uh-huh.
You just fire one
but-
of your specters.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a job application for another spectre or something. That guy's not.
He says,
that guy-
"Please, don't let him fire me. If he fires me, I actually cease to exist."
Yeah, exactly. It'd just be murder.
Wait, so these guys are sentient then?
Yeah,
All right.
Magical?
they're like the Dobby people. They like being slaves. So
I was going to say, do they like their jobs?
I mean, depends on whether you consider them people. They are
there you go.
magical creations that do not possess free will, but they are sentient. And
I want you guys speaking to them.
you guys don't give them any ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are allowed to count up your rewards. In the smaller chests, which have, or the less heavy chests, which have been given to the party, not including O'Malley, there is 100 platinum pieces, as well as 4 topazes worth 250 gold pieces each. So there's 100 platinum and 4 topazes for each of you. A platinum, of course, being worth 10 gold. So 100 platinum is the equivalent of 1,000 gold.
How much was one topaz?
What?
1 topaz is 250 gold.
So...
O'Malley,
Oh.
your chest is significantly heavier since your only reward has been in cash. There's 500 platinum pieces, as well as 2,000 gold coins, and various gems worth another 1,000 gold coins.
Various gems and the value of 1,000, did you say?
Yep. And you look over, and there's like little dollar signs in the Echo's eyes.
I look at it. I look over and says, "No, we both know who this is for, really."
The Echo gives you like the okay gesture, then moves it down to his knee and punches you.
You try and make off with it.
He's, made you look. Lunabot is being a bit of a pain. I'm just going to quickly. It's working again now. So, you guys. I imagine like counting up that much doesn't take that much time, given that most of it is in platinum. However,
I typed it all into gold after you said the conversions. Doesn't really matter, does it?
Not massively, no.
That's good.
However, the
What did you say, Argot? Sorry.
you received. Sorry, Matt.
Oh, don't know if you got to me or said the same thing as someone else.
You all received the same, apart from Malik.
Yeah.
You received 100 platinum and 4 topazes, each of which is worth 250 gold.
Okay, cool.
Which, like, just for reference, that amount of money is like what you guys got as a party for your like dealing with all Medora. So like this is an enormous payday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and retire in my castle now.
You could on that money.
Yep.
If you can deal with the castle full of mind flayers. And
Let's clear that out first.
It was 250 gold, wasn't it? Basically, just 100 platinum, 250 gold.
No, 100 platinum and 1,000 gold's worth of gold, topazes, because it's 4 topazes, each of which is worth 250.
I'm very glad.
Oh, sorry, 120. Okay, 250.
Yep. So it's the equivalent of 2,000 gold.
Yeah.
That is very, very tasty. Nom, 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 nom. Man, I could do some great things with this place as I look around the room with my money in my house.
And the one of the like Spectre patrons says, "Oh man, is this place going to get like some renovations? Because we could do with plumbing."
What's that?
We will get ye oldie jukebox, and I slam my fist on the table, expecting everyone to go hurrah.
One of the patrons like looks at you, picking his nose, and goes, "What's a jukebox?
Ye oldie jukebox.
What's a ye oldie jukebox?"
Ah, forget it. You'll get pork scratchings behind the bar now.
There's a cheer at that.
Do they taste the same as the meat?
Matt,
and the veg?
Do they taste the same as the meat and the veg?
Somehow worse. You'll literally break your teeth on them. Like, there's no way you'll escape breaking
This
your
place
teeth.
doesn't even serve potato, man. This place sucks.
This place is great. It's just taking a while.
Any grog?
It's on the up and up.
Any grog, Matt?
The drinks are the only thing that's quite good. I will say that. Like, the drink's good.
The bar is like exceptionally well stocked.
Yeah. The food is purely lining your stomach, grub.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing more, nothing less.
But yeah, there's the sort of grog that is actually impossible to make in the modern day.
Oh, do I have to tell
Matt
this
has taught me
multiple times.
Yeah, it's impossible to make grog like sailors used to have.
Yeah.
Because they never fully emptied the barrels; they just kept topping it up.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Very
each
rare.
barrel became unique.
Yeah. And obviously everything's so standardized now. Like, people just fucking make any old fucking shit rum.
Yeah.
But anyway, enjoy a drink on me, I say, as everyone's already got a drink in their hands.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Wow. What drinks are people like having?
Grog.
I suppose grog for art.
Mally's probably just got like the standard ale that's available.
House ale, please. Second
What would
cheapest
Hierarchin
one.
have?
I want Erland's homebrew.
Okay.
Something
Which-
ale.
Yeah,
Which,
there's like a
for some
micro
reason-
distillery.
For some
Roll it-
reason, tastes the same as the meat and veg.
A glass gets put in front of you. Roll a d20.
Okay, Dungeon Master. Go for it. Roll a d20.
Mm,
10. What happens, Matt?
tasty 10.
Because you got above a 9, you don't take 6d6 psychic damage. You simply-
Instead, I just pass out.
yeah, you
Just
just
like
you just pass out.
foul tasting.
It is literally something ale.
My eyes roll into the back of my head.
But you don't take any damage. It's just very unpleasant.
The
last time
barkeep
I've
looks at
ever-
Risu
yeah.
and goes like, "What? Apple juice, milk, water."
Whatever doesn't taste like shit.
I mean, like, there's only one thing that tastes like shit, and he asked for it. All right. The drinks are really good here. I just don't know, like,
Oh yeah, like it's
I don't know if
organic.
there's like a legal, like, whether you're allowed to serve children, since this place is kind of outside of the world.
It's like organic apple juices. Like it's really
Organic apple
nice.
juices, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's really nice. It's just the food that's dog shit.
Okay, apple juice. It's almost like food.
You are provided with a lovely cloudy apple juice.
Who you say? The little goblin comes out of the kitchen. He's a little
No.
goblin inspector. He's really cool.
Uh-huh.
He's my favorite character. In
He's still
entire-
spectral.
He's a spectral thing, but he's
Yeah.
a goblin.
Yeah. Oh, Otto's still a dark elf, isn't he? Unless you want to
Drow?
transform overnight. Yeah, a drow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll transform. Just
I
for
can
fun.
use I can use my new table.
What do you want me to roll, Mr. Dungeon Master?
Give me a second.
Let me decide.
Wait a minute. Shapeshift table. You need to roll a D100.
Yeah. Can you do... Yeah. 56.
56. On a roll of 55 to... On a roll of 55 to 58, your body contorts, grows in size, and hunches over as a hard shell appears on your back. Your skin turns leathery and wrinkled. You become a turtle.
Oh,
Imagine a giant, muscular, like Master Oogway sort of. You're a
Monkey.
turtle.
Monkey.
spelt
Monkey.
Tortal?
TLE.
TLE.
So, are these transformations like willing?
For Ott, not really, no.
Oh,
He can choose to transform. He can no longer choose what he transforms into.
no longer.
It was his sacrifice, or one of his sacrifices, when he brought back Hierarchin.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Rocky is sat there, by the way, with a pair of sunglasses on.
Yeah.
And a
I
little
mean,
box
you've
in
got
front of
time
him.
to attune if you want to figure out what you're attuning to, Matt.
I will decide this off screen because I'm going to do a lot of umming and ahhing. I
Okay.
feel that's the best thing to do for now.
Hmm.
So my transformations, do they only happen when I sleep? I can't remember.
Yeah, so I guess you were a turtle during that last scene. They only happen during long rests. So, yeah, you woke up as a turtle, which is a creature you've never seen before. This is a very alien-looking thing. I will find a picture of a turtle for you. Hang on.
Cool.
TLE. Turtle. Images. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's just give it a quick copy image, and we'll paste it in the D&D chat. There we go. That's what a turtle looks like.
Oh, that's sick.
They are pretty cool, right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, bird on him.
Interestingly, I don't.
Oh,
I
that
think
size,
like
can
in
carry a Rooster on my
Horizon,
back.
yeah, I think in Horizon turtles will live like hundreds of years, but I think rules is written they don't. They like live a
No.
normal human lifetime, which is stupid.
Yeah,
They're
they're not.
turtles.
Actually, I think they have like a shorter span. I think
Yeah.
most people like homebrew it, go nah, and
They
say
should
like,
live like 200 years, man. They're turtles.
yeah.
Ot wouldn't know this, having never seen a turtle, but they are nomadic, quite literally carrying their homes on their backs.
Does this
Wow,
game?
will he find furniture?
They just sleep in their shells like a turtle.
I was gonna wonder if this guy wanted to be the new chef,
Yeah,
replace the goblin, but if they're nomadic, then
you can't get him to stick around.
Does the shell
Yeah,
give me
exactly.
additional inventory space?
If you were actually a turtle, it would give you an AC boost, but you are not actually a turtle, you are a changeling.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have this every time you transform.
Yeah.
You don't get the bonuses
Is it
associated
harder to
with your
move
race.
in this
Nope.
heavy shell? Okay.
There is no differences based on your race. It's cosmetic. You look exactly like a turtle.
If it looks like a turtle and smells like a turtle,
It's actually a changeling.
it's actually
Yeah.
And yeah, you are very much left to your own devices for as long as you remain within the tavern, or at least for as long as it lasts. So there's very little that even could interact with you if it wished to. This is a safe place away from the world.
With lights.
Sorry, say that again, Sarah?
With lights.
It does have lights.
Yay.
unlike the orb. So it's an upgrade
Yeah,
of
that's
Matt's orb.
I believe you replaced the what is it? Learman's tiny hut, didn't you, Matt?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't go for the spell that's very similar to this one, which is like a tower instead of a door.
Yeah. I was going to say to you, Rob, if you had chosen that one, save yourself the spell. Because the tower is a less powerful version of this.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, like, it's a tower, but, like, anyone can enter because it's just a tower. It's not on a demi-plane or anything.
Yeah, it's not as special.
Yeah. It's a 3rd level spell as opposed to a 7th level spell.
Oh, wow. Gold's tower, that was it.
Which is like an awesome spell, but so yeah, you guys are very much left to your own devices. I think like eventually Francisco would return and be like, well, I mean, sort of like shrugs and goes, until like there's some developments with the rest of things, there's not a lot that we can really do. I guess we just lie low for a little while. We haven't got another mission yet.
Sounds good. We can explore the city, I guess. Explore the rubble of the city.
I've got some things I need to go do around here anyway, so... And at this point, O'Malley just gets up and walks off to go find Vero.
Mm-hmm. Is anyone else leaving? Or are you all just hanging out?
Art's going to look around the city.
Okay.
Hanging out with my family.
Art.
Yeah.
The second you leave, you receive 2 simultaneous sending spells from 2 different people who have been trying for several hours to get in contact with you, but sending doesn't work while you're on a demi-plane.
Oh, I finally got reception!
The 2 spells probably like speak over one another, which makes it a little bit difficult to make out the exact details of what they said. However, the first one is from the King of Bulwar, and he would say, "Watchers, the situation is dire, and I must call upon you to fulfill your obligations to Bulwark. Meet me at the Citadel of the Moon." And that's exactly 25 words, and he can't say any more. The other one that you receive is from the Queen of Phalanx, which will say, Ott, if you can hear this, there's big trouble. Please bring the others to the Citadel of the Moon immediately. War is being declared.
Okay, yeah, Odd's going to quickly run back to the special dorm and bang on it very loudly. Odd's seen O'Malley walk away, hasn't he?
Would you have stopped him to say anything? Because he probably would have gone out at the same time as you.
Yeah, well, it could have been a few minutes before, so I might have kind of missed you leaving or not, in which direction. So
that's up to you guys. Did you go at the same time, or?
I would say we probably left at the same time.
Yeah,
probably been
right.
I've got things I've got to do here. And go find. I've got to find Vero, and you're like, oh well, I might as well go explore the city anyway at the same time.
Yeah,
so
left at the same
makes
time.
Sense.
Sure.
It just makes grammatical sense.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you want, you can stop O'Malley as well.
Wait, I should call down.
You just basically just shout O'Malley. It's like, go on then. What's up?
Big news! Quick, come inside. And we scramble back to the door and ask.
You don't know you're causing me to lose money here.
This is a lot more important than your stupid money.
Nothing is more important than my money.
Fine, suit yourself. I'm going in.
It's like obviously he's going in because it's like you're wasting his time. Time is money. Hurry it up, basically.
Let's move. And we run.
Yeah.
I bang on the door and shout for the rest of the party.
Is that the plumber?
It's like a plumber.
One of the specters goes, "Oh, I really hope so."
I'm too focused on Rocky Chan. Me and him are just spending some quality time.
Stroking his eyeballs.
There's like a little mug of ale in front of Rocky Chan, and there's like a little straw going from into the ale and to Rocky Chan.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're just throwing bananas in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he has his luck back.
Guys,
only if
it's important.
Only if he attunes to it.
Put that stupid rock down, Erlan. Quick, come here.
You pid. Roll for initiative.
I received an urgent message from what's he?
The King of Bulwark and the Queen of Phalanx have both urgently contacted you.
From the Kings and Queens of Bulwarks and Phalanx, about a war that's about to take place in Phalanx?
You were asked to go to the Citadel of the Moon.
Citadel of the Moon. Okay,
yeah. Which is the residence of neither of those two people.
Oh. So they're just concerned about their friendos in the city over.
They can only say 25 words. The information they can convey is very limited.
O'Malley wouldn't really understand politics play between the Phalanx Bulwark and the Citadel, right?
You would know that they're allies, or at least trading partners. Yeah. But, that's probably about as far as you would know. You wouldn't know any, deep political stuff now.
No.
To the Batmobile. So
they want us to go to
Citadel of the Moon.
Yep.
Right.
We must go.
Reply the message?
Immediately. Can you reply? I'm not sure if you can.
You
can, yes.
Oh. Okay, then they can reply back?
No.
Nope. You can reply to their message.
Just a response, okay.
I'm kind of hand-waving it to allow you to reply right now, because it's been a little bit, but I'll allow you to reply.
Yeah, I don't even know what to reply.
25 words.
We'll be on our way immediately.
How long would it take for us to get there?
I don't know.
Depends on how we travel.
Wait, would I be able to use my new level 7 teleport spell? Because we've been there before.
Answer is yes.
Ooh.
And so I will use my level 7 spell slot.
You'll be there immediately, essentially, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. On the world map. So, ordinary travel, each hex is 3 days of travel.
Right.
Citadel of the Moon is up there. You do have the coordinates for the runes for the teleportation circle, which is within the Citadel of the Moon, meaning that if you chose to teleport specifically to the circle there, the teleportation spell is guaranteed to drop you exactly where you want to go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So,
So you should just send a message saying, "Look behind you."
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I said we're on our way. We'll be at the teleport pad.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Thank
helps.
you. So yeah, Hyarkin, this is a chance for you to unveil your newest ability.
My new ability.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, you all have to exit the tavern for this to work, because you're on a different plane of existence right now.
Let me open my very hefty spellbook.
Mm-hmm.
Spellbook's so heavy it takes up 2 slots.
And
It
slows
actually
me down
counts
by 10
as a
feet.
creature, yeah.
A what?
It actually counts
creature.
as a creature because it's so
Wait
heavy.
a minute, how many of us are there?
Well, I believe the spell says it can teleport up to 7 people.
8.
Up to 8.
Yeah, that's what it says here.
Um,
You and 8 willing creatures.
okay, so technically up to 9
So 9,
creatures.
technically.
Francisca says, probably don't bring me along to this one. It doesn't really sound like my business. If possible, I'd rather avoid getting involved in another war.
That's fair.
Okay, see you soon.
Next time we see you, I wish to know about this whole pooping business. But in the meantime, we must go.
Bye.
At this point, I'm like, tell the others I still am willing to sell myself. If that makes sense. Fuck, that was wrong.
He gives you a 1,000-yard stare and says, I'm sure there's some pervert in the city who would be interested in that, but I would really rather not spread that message.
Pretty sure you've already had that discussion with us with Art.
I mean about me with magic shit.
Sure.
Shut up, Risu.
Let's go.
So what does the teleportation spell look like for you, Hyarkin?
I'm imagining sort of like a big blue circle of like light that comes up from the floor, and then we sort of just turn invisible and disappear, and then it just casts a flash of light, and then it's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like little flames around where we were, like Back to the Future.
Okay. Again, vandalizing the tower of this poor dragon.
They fade away.
Okay.
Magic fire.
The teleportation spell should, as far as you are aware, take you directly to the teleportation circle within the Citadel of the Moon. You've been given the runes for it, and it is a guaranteed chance that you will land on target. However, you are not immediately taken there, as something intercepts your travel.
Oh no.
You
Is
find
this my first time?
Not quite. You find yourselves all within a enormous white void. Ahead of you, in all directions, stretches a large tapestry depicting various events. Heroes facing monsters, armies clashing, monarchs rising to power. A little ways ahead of you...
Is this a loading screen?
A little ways ahead of you is a quaint cottage.
Is O'Malley here with these lot, or
O'Malley is here, as long as he was taken by the teleportation spell.
he's just looking around going, what the fuck is this?
Risu in particular, this would be very familiar. This looks a hell of a lot like Istus's domain.
That's what I said. I've been here before.
Whoa.
But I haven't seen the cottage.
You haven't.
I like
Tell us about this place, Risu.
It's Istus's domain. So this
You
is
guys
where
have all
she...
very briefly spent time, apart from Erlan and O'Malley, you've all very briefly spent time in Istus's domain before you came to Horizon.
What? We're in a god's domain.
Yeah. What of it?
Wait, oh no, I said your name again in front of him. Sorry.
Yeah. I'll just
Sigh.
start shooting arrows.
I just
And my mouth. Just shut me up.
stop shooting at her. Yeah.
Every time
Shut
I
up.
say a name, just an arrow comes flying
It's
past.
too
me.
late. He already knows it now, Risu.
Has anyone got a mind wiping spell? No.
Or modify memory, it's a 5th level
spell.
spell.
It is definitely a thing. I don't think
Okay,
you can
I know what to
change
get when
that.
I level up next.
It doesn't change that. It's only in the last 24 hours.
I'm not 100% sure.
I'm pretty certain it's only that. I have to re-rate.
It's not like Men in Black.
You-
where
you
just
don't have
refresh
the
a
spell.
thing and,
No,
they
so-
just
What about if you
Anyway.
cast it at a higher level?
I don't really know.
You can modify a larger amount of time. But anyway, none of
there
you
we
have
go.
that spell.
Yes.
I will one day, so be warned.
Anyway. Why are we here then?
Only one way to find out, I suppose. Yarkin,
Yep.
any idea what happened?
I have no idea. This is my first time using this spell, so I
This
guess
is
we
why
normal.
just have to go along with it.
Why did we agree to this? Holy shit.
I think that Hyarkin, as the caster of the spell, you would have got some vague feeling that the spell was somehow intercepted.
Okay, I'd tell that to the group then.
Well, I'm going
Well,
into the cottage.
Okay.
Yeah, O'Malley's gonna probably follow off. He has no idea what's going on, and he's not staying like away from the party.
I'll just knock.
Okay.
Is this?
You hear Istus's voice from the other side of the door and says, "Oh, that's them. Shall I get the door? Shall you get the... I'll get the door." And yeah, the sound of footsteps, and the door is opened by the particularly tall silver lady,
Big
the
lady.
goddess of fate,
Big
Istus,
lady.
who looks down at all of you
Step
and
on me.
says, looks with disgust at Hyarkin.
It's like looking at it, it's like she is a big lady.
I look up at her, drooling.
Whoa.
She says, "You're all quite different from the last time you were here, huh? Never mind that. Welcome. There's someone here who would love to see you all again." And with that, she motions inside and allows you entrance. And it is a quaint cottage. And she directs you along the hallway to a dining room where there is a table with a teapot and seats and little teacups laid out for each of you, and 2 people sat at the table already, both of them looking significantly worse for wear than the last time you saw them. One of them is Virtue. He seems a lot skinnier, malnourished almost, eyes sunken as he looks quietly down at his teacup and barely regards you all. The other one, Alex, would you like to describe?
So, sat next to him, obviously trying to help him, try and drink and eat as much as he can, is
Mhm.
Yolia, for the first time you've seen her since. She is similar to how you last left her, where very aged looking, but clothes very tattered after the events that unfolded on her trials and tribulations. Worn and weary from seeing Virtue as he is and what she's dealt with in the past.
Mhm.
She doesn't even know how long at this point.
From your perspective, Alex, it's probably been a few days here in this cottage for Yolia that you've spent being cared for by Istus.
Yeah. So, probably a bit cleaner than she would have been had you met her very much straight after what she'd just gone through, but still worn, still tired. More just been really trying to care for Virtue as much as possible, from try and help him, eat and make sure he's eating and drinking. The only other thing you might notice, anyone is that her bandages, her wraps on her arms seem to go a bit further than they used to on her arms. And at this point, there's probably what looks to have been if she's probably not looked at you straight away and looking towards Virtue. So she's back slightly turned to there's a bit of a scar that has formed on one part but then disappears behind her clothing. Relatively large slashing cut by the looks of it.
On her back.
On her back. That'll be from the traversing of the continent slogan.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. But yeah. So other than mainly, I think that was most of it. It's just slightly tattered clothing that's been stitched in places to, fix up what was wrong with what was damaged. As well as alongside that was probably her wraps are much further up her hands than they used to be. Before they probably stopped just past the wrist. Now they seem to be edging closer to the elbow.
Yeah, Istus will say, I will give you all some space, at least for a little while. I'm sure you have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, at this point, obviously, taking the time to gaze away from Virtue and keeping them and just look and see everyone else, and it's just a solemn, happy grin, smile on her face, and Yori stands up and says, I've waited so long to see you all again. It's a bit of a tear to her eye, like as if she missed you all. And just stands up and motions to the party to sit down. And
the Echo looks confused at Yolia and points at himself when you say I've waited so long to see you all.
Looks at
all
the Echo and goes, what is that?
That's the guy.
What? Oh.
Wait,
Hello,
do you mean this little guy? And I
It's
pull
like-
out Rocky from my pocket and I'm like, look at him, isn't he cool? And I'm shoving it really close into Yolia's face.
At this point, Yoli snatches it and says, that best be... Actually, I think at this point it's fine. And then just lets go of your hand, knowing that she's got Virtue.
Being able to take it away from his hand should have told you.
No, I just grabbed his hand rather than grab the rock. To go and push it away, so it's trying to not pay attention, but realizing the reason why I decided to not make sure he knew is so the cultists didn't know that I was coming after Virtue. It's the weird translucent thing is the guy, and then looks around and probably spots.
Yeah, the Echo points towards O'Malley.
O'Malley. Ah, that makes more sense. Wait. No, it doesn't. Why are there two of them? O'Malley's just like, oh, that's just really rude of you. And it's just kind of a bit of an awkward situation between them both of just
Now Alex knows how it feels to have to try and RP with himself. Finally, someone understands my pain.
I knew your pain.
Carry on.
Okay, then. Fine. Anyway, so they haven't obviously told you my name, but they've obviously told you who I am. How rude. My name is O'Malley Jones. My friends call me Mally. You can call me O'Malley. Wait, that doesn't make sense. My friends call me Mouse, but you can call me O'Malley. Yolya's just like, what? It's just like, I'm too tired to deal with this, and just goes, come sit down and have a drink.
This is the guy we've had to be working with while you disappeared. Like, we appreciated the note, but man, we missed you.
I've missed you as well. I'm guessing Art of Never. What are you?
I know. I look
What?
different. It's
What?
what was Yolya there when Hayakin? Yeah, he was when Hayakin
Yeah,
died.
Yolya's. That's why Yolya's old now.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, she has grown that.
she's in her 40s.
Still looking great, by the way.
Sorry. And thank you.
If it means that you're here, then it doesn't matter.
We're glad you're back.
I'm glad you're back as well.
Like, Ott gives a very even though he's not affected by the form that he's in, he gives a very slow moving hug to Yolya.
Is he just playing the bit?
It's on purpose.
Yeah, it's on
On
purpose.
I know. Would Yolya know that he's doing this on purpose? Would she realise, or is she just kind of like?
I don't know.
I would guess not. So
Yeah.
she'd be like, "Oh, okay," and also slowly like embrace the hug, like just slowly at the same time.
Yeah,
Like,
I doubt Yolya has seen a turtle before either.
oh, she has no idea. That's why she's like, "What the fuck are you? What the fuck is this?" And it's just like, yeah. And it's just like, it's nice to see you as well, Art. It's been an experience on my own.
Don't worry, if you miss me that much, you can continue calling me Fart Hammock instead. You know, yeah.
No, he can't. No, she can't. It's
it will
Art.
always be Art. And then like moves away from the
I appreciate that.
after, like holding the embrace for a minute. Just like, it's nice to see a friend again.
And Ott gives a very slow-headed nod. And steps backwards.
I turned to the rest of the party and it's like, has he been like this for a while?
This morning.
Oh, okay.
I was a drow last week.
I
That
would
was
be-
fun.
She'd instantly know what a drow is, wouldn't she? From
Yes, she would know what a drow
Oh,
is.
I've met a few drow. Interesting species.
I was a whole lot more attractive than I am now.
John was definitely a cute little lad. He was funny.
Yeah. John was fairly handsome.
He was a fairly handsome boy. He had a weird pet. It creeped me out. Oh, right. So what's happening? It's like, obviously, I don't really know much other than the fact that you went to Dragon's Rest. What's happening? What's going on?
So we've been summoned back at a urgent pace to help with the Citadel of the Moon, which apparently is under attack. So we've is
Under
apparently
war.
not under attack. Sorry, a war is about to start.
So they were doing it. Right, obviously. No, there was something I was meant to tell you, Risu.
Me?
Humans and the Dragonborn. We can't trust them when we cross the range. They are not to be trusted. They are gearing up weapons to. I don't know what exactly, but we can't trust any of them. Maybe the standard people are fine, but anyone of power, this must be what they've been doing. Why would they attack? Ah.
Unfortunately, none of you guys know the politics of this world.
Wait,
Basically,
where's Yolya been? Still in this side of the range or the other side?
Oh.
Yeah.
so
Yolya?
are you asking that question?
Yeah, I'll ask it.
So, when I left, I basically spent maybe a week in Phalanx itself doing some reconnaissance and other things. But upon discovering information, I headed south to another one of those ritual sites. which I managed to destroy thanks to the help from Hamilton and a few of some royal guards from Phalanx themselves. I then decided, foolishly, to travel the Valley of the Dead. We are never going to the Valley of the Dead. No matter how much you try and say, let's go there, I will tell you no, and if you ever attempt to try and go there, I will knock you out and then drag you as far away from that place as far as possible.
Well, that explains
We
the
are not
scratches.
going to the Valley of the Dead. But anyway, I then traveled through the Valley of the Dead to the other side of the range. Amazingly, I don't know how I survived. I shouldn't have. I don't know how I... But then I came across a scout from a village not too far from the actual valley, who was trying to track me as best as he could. Bit of a smile as she, recounts her win over catching Deputy John off guard. But I then went to this town and discovered through them that the cities above the sky on the opposite side, which are ruled by the humans and Dragonborn, are they were amassing arms. What for? I don't know that, but they might have allied with Xenas. So the only reason I can think that they're attacking the citadels and Phalanx and Bulwark and all that is because they basically allied with us. I don't know. I don't really know the full things, but yeah, that's as much as what I know. But then obviously I had other things to deal with, and at this point I obviously sit back down and put an hand next to Virtue.
He has been dead silent this entire time and has barely looked at any of you.
And I sit down next to him. I had to save this one first. Make sure he was safe. But unfortunately, as you can see, it's not in good shape. Why he's like this is, unfortunately, I'm not sure. I don't know what they did to him, but I'm guessing, and at this point I pull out the book and say, I guess this might have some answers for us, but I cannot read it. And put it on the table in front of everyone and say, I need one of you to find out what's going on in this book and what they've done.
Just to describe this book, it's sort of like this very ramshackle sort of like leather-bound notepad with pages sticking out of it.
Okay. Can we open it?
Yeah, it's completely openable.
Okay. So we'll open it and see if any of us recognize the writing or what it is that you're struggling with.
It's in a language I don't know. I can now understand anything you say in any language, but written, no.
So,
Okay.
just quickly, can everyone let me know what languages they speak?
Dwarfish through my belt.
Mm-hmm. For now.
Human and I believe human, common, Elvish, and Dwarvish.
Yeah. Okay.
Amali is just Dwarvish and Common, so...
Common, Aarakocra, Oran, Dwarven, and Draconic.
Okay.
Okay. Common, Infernal, Elvish, and Oran.
And
It's
Ot?
Oran.
Don't know.
Oran
We asked that
is-
earlier, actually. What is that?
It's a type of primordial. It's spoken specifically by creatures of the elemental plane of air.
Rob?
You're muted at the minute, Rob.
Oh, sorry. Common primordial orc. Muted myself. By mistake.
He only speaks silence.
So,
I speak with the...
Hyarkin, you speak Infernal, right?
Yes.
This isn't written in Infernal, but it's written in something similar to it. It's written in, you would recognize, Abyssal, which is
Okay. Is
a demonic language.
Is it like the difference between like Spanish and French? Like you can kind of pick out similarities.
Yeah, like you could maybe translate the odd word of it. Enough to maybe get a gist of what it's about, but not really enough to actually translate. Spending a little bit of time on this, these appear to be very intricate details on how to cast a certain spell, or a certain variant of a certain spell. It appears to be some sort of corruption of the spell Astral Projection, which allows one to project their spirit into the astral plane, allowing them to, explore it without putting their own body in danger. Although this corruption would most likely send the person somewhere far different from the astral plane. And I think if you want to see what else you can figure out, please make an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Roll high here.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
21.
21. This tracks. As a planar expert, while this is somewhere outside of your normal realms of knowledge, this is something which you've had to become somewhat familiar with because of Zernas. This isn't going to send you to any known plane of existence. It's going to send you outside of the planes, to the far realm where Zernas is from.
Where did you find this book?
I found it on a mind flayer in a camp full of Fomorians. They were holding Virtue captive there
Was he like this?
when I
Then?
found him. He's been like this since I found him. He barely eats, drinks, doesn't talk. He understands. He will pay attention to you.
Given all of your levels and levels of magical knowledge, you guys would be able to infer that this isn't purely trauma that's affecting him. There is some sort of enchantment on him as well.
I'm not great with magic. You all know that. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what they did to him. Obviously, from what you're saying about this astral projection, guessing that's how they've done something to send him to Zernas is what I would guess. But
Would detect magic be any help to see if, I don't know, his
It
astral
would tell you what type of magic is affecting him, but that's about it. It allows you to determine the school of magic that is active.
Okay. I can try that if that will help.
Okay. If you cast Detect Magic here in Istis's domain, first of all, your senses are almost completely overwhelmed by incredibly powerful divination magic, which infuses this entire place, given that this is the realm where Istis watches the entire world from. However, you do detect the faint traces of enchantment magic on Virtue. Enchantment magic, you would at least be aware, is magic that affects people's minds. The most basic example would be Charm Person.
Okay. What sort of thing could we do to cure a charmed person?
For lesser enchantments and such, just a dispel would be able to do it, although this seems to be something that would require the work of a powerful healer, someone on the same level as the Lord of the Charred Grove, Illatron,
And
or
is
a
this far?
healer on a similar level. If you'd like to ask Istus,
Yeah. Is this anything you could cure?
Istus will return and say,
Oh yes, from the
yes,
beginning.
yeah, yes and no. Unfortunately, it's very difficult for a divine like myself to directly interfere with the affairs of mortals. With you all, I have a special connection since you're fate touched, but I would need a powerful cleric to actually channel any divine intervention. If he was fate touched, that would be a different matter, but unfortunately, Virtue is a normal tiefling who got wrapped up in events that are larger than he is.
At this point, obviously, Yoli is more just making more focus on Virtue than she's paying attention to anything that's happening with the party.
Istas would go on to elaborate and say, if it was so simple for me to just interfere in the affairs of mortals, I wouldn't have needed to ask you all to go to Horizon in the first place. I could have just fixed matters myself. But unfortunately, I need you all to act as my agents.
Is this Istus's Angels again?
Yeah. The other secret name for the party. Istus will say, once you've all had a chance to catch up, I am able to send you on to your destination. No time has passed, and your spell is actually still active, Hyarkin. But I thought it best to reunite you with Yolya now.
So how would you have intercepted us if I didn't use teleport?
I would not have had a way of doing it. Fortunately, being the goddess of fate, I can somewhat gather what might happen.
This is like one of those Carney fortune teller sort of things.
The future isn't
have I just
fixed.
been like David Blaine into choosing to pick teleport as my level up spell?
Oh,
Hey,
there's lots of different roads which may lead to the same destination.
We're all being played.
Yeah.
it's all about the game and how you play it.
I've Darren Brown to you. I'm
Yeah.
in your head. I made you decide to pick teleport. Or it's just that it was like, the best spell on the list that you could have picked, and so I assumed that you were probably going to pick that one.
Yep. I probably would have cried if you didn't get teleport, to be honest.
You'd just be stuck there.
I mean, no. I mean, as in just in general.
As a good spell to have.
I'd be like,
yeah.
why wouldn't you take teleport, man? It's so good.
Yeah. I'm glad I got to use it straight away.
Yeah.
It'll be really handy once you have to go back and forwards from your castle.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Before and after every short rest. Every long rest when I get my spell slots back. Going back to my castle to rest up.
So we have a choice between Erland's Inn and
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
guys can come and
We
chill
have,
at the
to,
castle.
we have to clear the castle first, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I can
okay, Hurricane's not scared anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
brave Hyarkin will just
This
barge
is
in
a
there and
chance
tell him to
to-
get lost out of my castle.
Face the creatures which ended you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't fear death anymore.
That was a really interesting one for you to pick, and I think it was probably one of the two that I was most excited for.
I'm curious to know what the other ones were.
I can tell you after the session.
Can you tell us
Oh, yeah.
after? Yeah.
Anyway, in the time frames, anything else anyone wants to know about what's happened? We're heading to a thing. You're heading to find out what's going on with the war and everything. And well,
Is
I did my quest.
Is there a divide between sky and ground, like there is on the west side, on the east side of the Absent Range?
Yeah, it doesn't change. It's the same either side.
All right.
Still dark, still cloudy, still no sign of light.
Just more corrupt and scarier.
Well, the valley is definitely scarier. But the people on the ground in the village I stayed at were kind, friendly, weird accents. But I don't know about in the sky. I didn't go up.
Yeah. Imagine if we just decided to go through the Valley of the Dead and bumped into
We
Yolya
were
there.
met. We were just.
I think we'd all be dead.
Yeah.
So I said to Alex, given that he had an awful time doing it solo, being on your own with no backup, completely unprepared, made that into something almost completely unmanageable. And Yolya straight up almost died, like permanently.
Yeah, I would have
Wait,
died.
so you actually
I was-
RP'd the whole
I
thing?
was literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah, that was
literally
horrific.
was one roll that went well away from dying.
Yeah.
It was only a quick bit of thinking that I managed to, and one decent roll that managed to keep me alive. I was close to death. I was like seconds away from being like killed.
Things would have been different if it was a group of, say, 5, 12th, or 13th level characters prepared and going in, like, knowing ahead of time what they were going to be dealing with. But one underprepared person with no idea what she was getting into. Yeah, Yolya almost fucking died and is super traumatized.
Yeah, she sometimes when like talking, especially if you ask her about the valley again, will kind of like not talk to you for a second,
Like,
and then realize
1,000
that you're
yards there.
yeah, well, not even 1,000 yards. It's just literally like nothing. It just goes blank for a second, and then comes back and then starts talking again. It's like things have changed with Yolya quite a lot. Which is
having your own Vietnam flashbacks.
definitely. Oh, mate, don't. That was the one session that me and Logan finished, and then went to a stream of Sarah's.
Yeah, I went to Sarah's stream.
Oh god, it was and we
Were
were both.
you just panicking and trying not to tell her what had happened?
We vented to Sarah that it was stressful.
We both finished that session like, thank God it's over.
I was stressed.
You were stressed. I was fucking near crying because I was so fucking stressed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yolya will. If you ask her about the valley, she will stop what she's doing, like blank for a minute, and then tell you to never go there.
I think like the like same firmness of never go there is probably the like same tone of voice that you heard from everyone who told you never to go to Dragon's Rest. Like,
Yeah.
Dragon's Rest is fine though.
Yeah, which we did anyway.
to you, Dragon's Rest is fine. To those people, it is death incarnate.
So is Dragon's Rest worse than normally?
It's full of dragons.
It's only because we had special access and
They threaten to eat us all the time.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that's
pretty sure
preferential
one of the
treatment.
big dragons put his massive mouth over me.
They
And then someone went,
Feasted
"What?
you.
What?
It's
Feasted me?"
canon now.
Oh.
Well,
no,
it sounds like
I'm
you
9
all
to
had-
4.
It sounds like you all had fun in Dragon's Rest.
Rock, and I shove it from its face in Yolya's face again.
I
Your
show
friend.
Yongya the deed to my castle.
All
How
these people
on-
running around to show like mummies,
Well,
like
we
what
got-
they've got.
And
Guys.
look at what we got. They're all like this, and I just kind of
And
look
he's
down
just
at
got
my.
scars.
I just look down at my arms, specifically, and then go. I went through fucking hell and back to get Virtue, and you're all fucking showing me off your shit right now. Are you kidding me?
Guys,
I got a rock.
guys, I hate to be the bear with bad news, but like the Citadel of the Moon is about to be like blown up. Should we make a move?
I mean, it's just told us.
Does
Oh,
time
wait.
pass in here?
Yeah.
Time is frozen right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Fine. Carry
no,
on.
we've got things to do. But wait, we're going back to the Citadel of the Moon, and Yoya kind of stops and looks at Virtue, and is like, "What do we do about Virtue though? Yeah, we can take him with us, but he's can't look after him at the same time as fighting a war.
Mm-hmm.
We need to put him somewhere safe
Virtue should tag along.
for now.
He'll love it.
He wasn't even in a state to tag along when we first tagged him along. What makes you think he's in a state to do so now?
He's grown up now. If he's aged as much as you, I'm sure Virtue will have a great time. It's more...
Christ.
At this point, Yoya is like snarling at you. It's like, how can you say such a thing? Look at him.
Non-verbal trauma doll over there.
It's Virtue just in the corner, still shaking and like rocking backwards and forwards.
No, he's not even doing that. He's just like sat, probably
Yeah,
just
he's, like-
staring at his tea and picking at any food that might be next to him.
Yeah. Virtue's in a bad way. And Istus will say, unfortunately, Virtue isn't fate touched, and if none of you are here, I can't keep him. He'll have to go with you. Along with Erlan and O'Malley. I'm sorry, none of you are fate touched.
Well, that's just rude. Believe this. Well, actually. And there's a kind of a glint in O'Malley's eye, listening to this whole, can't keep him with us, but he needs somewhere safe. He could stay with me, Ma. And maybe me, depending on what I do next, but he could easily stay at my mum's house and mine. He'll be safe. No one dares really fuck with my place.
Why don't you use all those platinum pieces that you got and buy him a house?
I have more important things to do with this money.
What, like living with your mum more?
Do you even know why?
I'm sure she's a lovely lady.
She is one of the greatest women I've ever met in my life. She is the shining light in my life.
I can agree with that.
In this entire dark world that exists and I've lived in for the better part of 25 years, she is the golden jewel in anything. You have no idea what she's like and what she's gone through and what she does.
I agree, she is quite a lady.
You've never met
What
her.
a woman!
What a woman.
And this money all goes to her. Everything I ever build, everything I've ever done is to keep for her. But you've never asked me why I'm so greedy for my money. Have you though?
I have my ideas.
Go on then. Go on, what's go on? Tell me your ideas then.
A lover of money. Just
Because I like to collect money like a dragon.
yeah, you're a dragon in like human form.
I'm a dragon in disguise.
In disguise.
Yes, of course. Because I'm the one who held that
Like-
fucking spear. No. I collect all this money. I do the shit I do. Because if I don't, then me ma would die. Because if I don't get the money, she can't get her medicine. And if I can't get even more money than what I get for her medicine, she won't fucking live.
Great healthcare this place got.
Unfortunately, people have to live to survive somehow. And the unfortunate problem with me ma is she had some kind of degenerative disease that has been afflicting her for even since I was a wee pap. Before I came of age, my dad had to do it. Unfortunately, my dad passed when I was about 15. And with no money coming in from him, I had to go out and do it. Firstly, it was odd jobs for the families in the area. Whatever I could scrounge doing shit for them. Then as I got a bit better and a bit stronger and more deadly, if that makes sense, I was able to push me rates up. It also came along with doing shit I didn't really like. It came with killing things, obviously. Obviously, killing families is fine when it's crime families. But the rest of it is not fun. The rest of it was never fun. Doing what I do, going out, I can't just live a life. Yeah, I'm good at this, but it's all I've ever known.
Even that baby you killed?
Do you really think I actually would have wanted to kill that child if it didn't mean getting more money? Like I said, we do anything we can to survive, especially from where I'm from. We don't get a lot of money. So yes, that kid, if he didn't have a bounty on his head, would have lived. But unfortunately, there was one. And that meant I had to.
It's all part of the job.
All part of the job. Probably at this point, the Echo is kind of like 100% like in a downer mood as well. Like normally he's like a dick to O'Malley, but he's just like not even focusing.
What does Yolia think to O'Malley
After
hearing his sub story?
I assume she'd probably think the same as Risu, that there's always another way.
There's
If it
always
is-
yeah. There's probably better. It's like, yeah, Yolia would probably be like, surely you could have lied about the kid and protected it if that was like so hard, or like, surely you could have found a job, like not taking the work from these guys to murder like other people, and do like stuff like protecting innocents and stuff similar to us. You seem capable enough, obviously, because you helped the party.
You guys have very much made a career doing things the hard way.
That's
Yeah,
why we're
because-
lawful good.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be the
Oh,
high
yeah.
road if it was easy.
exactly. But none of you really knew O'Malley's true intentions and why he just needs money as fast as possible. He doesn't want to do this. He does it because he's good at it and it fucking makes him good money. And the quicker he can do this and get out of the game, the better.
So
No one
back
gets killed.
So getting back to the matter at hand, O'Malley is offering to, I'm assuming for pay, be
Oh,
the
yeah,
one who
100%.
watches over Virtue.
He's offering to pay it, but we can come to an agreement on how much you pay him.
Hey Sarah, it's your favourite time.
Time
Negotiations.
Also, my other worry would be like him selling out.
What?
If O'Malley sells out on Virtue, if someone comes knocking, and if they do come knocking to his mum's house for Virtue specifically, that would put his mum in danger.
Yeah, let's just put it this way: if you offer him a contract to protect Virtue, has he said in the past? I don't break a contract.
It just occurred to me that
So if anyone came knocking asking for Virtue, he would be like, "Who are you on about?" And if they go, "You know who we're on about," there would probably then end up being a mallet to their face and saying, "I don't know what you're on about. Fuck off before something bad happens." He doesn't think anyone's gonna. No one knows where you guys are at the moment. You're in this place. No one can hear them. He takes Virtue back there. He will stay inside. He will stay with his mom. His mom barely leaves the house. No one's seen his mom in years. No one knows what she looks like. You can protect them. but there's got to be money involved. Because right now, he's got the opportunity to go to the Queen and get a big paycheck. Knowing that there's a war brewing, he can get some good money as a mercenary.
It occurs to me that O'Malley wasn't supposed to get the money till at the end of everything, I think.
Well, our first contract is over. It's helped you with what you wanted to
Oh,
do.
is that the end of that
This
contract?
was, well, essentially it might be. It depends on what you guys agree with O'Malley. But
It
he
sounds like we're
said
about
he
to
was going to go
so
and
we might
do.
leave him here.
Yeah,
or-
he was going to go and do a job in Dragon's Rest for you guys in exchange for money, which he has now received.
So his
And
first contract's
whether
over.
you guys continue to work for the Dragons and get deeper into this war is a matter for you to decide. And whether O'Malley continues to work alongside you is a matter for him to decide.
Right.
He's got the opportunity to go make a lot of good money with the Queen right now. He can easily walk up to her and say, I've got money. But he's also just offered his services to protect Virtue. For money. You
Why
guys
didn't he
can't
ask
look
the
after him.
dragons for a cure for this illness that your mum has? They probably had the.
He already
Tell me he was smart.
He already knows the story, though. That's
No.
the thing. So he's
He
like, I just need the
does
money.
have a way of getting it cured. Yeah, he just needs money for the treatment.
It's a lot of money.
Oh, right.
Worked out a amount, but I can't remember what that number was again.
It was like 70k gold. It was an absurd amount of money.
Yeah, and he's already got like. So there's 2 pots at his house. He's got the pot for the cure and the pot for the medicine. Because while he can get the medicine, it's quite a bit of money. The pot for the thing is obviously substantial right now, and is now grown a lot more. Just why he's kind of got you guys to pay for his like board and booze and stuff is because like he doesn't carry a lot of cash with him because he doesn't usually stay in places long enough to need it, other than to like buy what he needs, like potions, and then that's it.
Shall we end it here?
That was what I was going to say. It is like 10 o'clock, and I think this is a relatively good point to end before you guys make a decision and return to the Citadel of the Moon.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okie doke.
Okay, everyone, thanks for coming. We got to show off some new spells. Yolya is back.
Yeah.
Virtue is semi-back.
Yeah, Sammy.
Yeah, semi.
Penis.
Damn it, Sarah. And yeah, explanations have been had about O'Malley.
O'Malley's finally told you the reason why he does his shit.
That was a good monologue, Alex. I'll give you that.
And,
It's what
I
I've been.
mean, like,
It's what I've been building
No.
on.
Does
Waiting
Risu feel
for the
bad
right-
for not telling her his name now?
No.
no, O'Malley's still like an asshole who
Yeah, he's
like
massive
Yeah, but we
rich.
know why now, at
Yeah.
least.
It does. I mean, he's still killing people for money. It's
Yeah.
not a good job,
No, it's not. He
and
hates it
he's choosing to do it.
because
He's
he's not
money.
good at anything else.
I want Sarah's next character to be like evil.
Mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I want to see
So,
Sarah play an
I
evil
want to see you
character.
play an evil character.
super edgy bird.
So to point out about O'Malley more and more, O'Malley only listen. He's not smart. His dad was a mercenary as well, but his dad was part of the mercenary band. His dad died, obviously, which is why he then had to just take it up. He didn't really know how to get into a mercenary band, so he just kind of started working for like the mobs around fucking Phalanx initially, before he got good enough to be able to like stake a name for himself on his own. Which is why then obviously they called upon him when they realized, oh, we can get him to do this, wipe out this other family for us, and he was like, okay, well, let's put it in a contract, and that's how he got on. One of his first things he did as a proper mercenary was off that family, and he had to deal with that, and he's lived with it his entire since then.
I wonder how many people have died for in the favor of O'Malley's mother's life? Just curious.
Remember, he's done stuff for the crown. The Queen's. So
Not all of his stuff has been like dirty money, but more than none of it has.
Yeah, he's done stuff to like help the crown and stuff like that. Go out and protect like areas, or like do movement missions and stuff like that. But now he does try to steer clear of like doing these dirty jobs. Beforehand, he didn't really get much of a choice. It was, like I said, it was one of his first big, like mercenary contracts was to off this other crime family. And he's, from doing that alone, really substantially jumped his name up in terms of like how effective he is as a mercenary, and which is why he was then able to like offer himself up for like more money in terms of like doing jobs for people.
It's got quite the portfolio.
He's
a reference as well, like his reasons for doing this are not so much justification for it, but so much more like O'Malley is not straight up evil aligned, but he's definitely not like good. He's neutral.
He's not clean.
Yeah, but O'Malley is not a monster.
He doesn't like. That's why he kind of like steered clear of the of that kind of dirty work once he became more established. But to begin with,
he has done bad things and he has justified it to himself
as much as he can, because it's the only way that he won't.
But
I mean, as you guys have pointed out, there's other ways to make money. Less money and harder ways, but there's other ways to make money.
But I take it O'Malley doesn't feel like he has to do those dirty stuff anymore.
As much.
As much. He will still take it if the money's good.
Right.
And it's an easy job, but like he doesn't need to. It's not like I said, his early stuff was working for the crime families around the riggers. Because he didn't, he was fucking 15 when he had to start doing it. Christ, come on, there's a reason, that all that shit happened. He knew how to fight because his dad was a merc in an actual band and did things differently, but he didn't know that. He bet, every now and again he'd see his dad, but that was about it. That's why he loves his mom so much, because literally all he knew was his mom.
I'd say this music has been fairly fitting for most of this session.
Yeah. Is this new music? Because I don't think I've heard these tracks.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is actually, according to the link, this is about copyright free.
Yay.
Although, take that with a grain of salt.
Let me see, has Twitch muted me? No.
I don't think Twitch has ever muted you, has it?
It has in the past.
Ah.
But like not very often. It's only certain tracks. I think it's more when you play Nintendo than anything.
Not when I play Nintendo, thank you.
Nintendo, Logan.
No, I just been playing Nintendo music.
Yeah. Is that me when I accidentally forget to mute my game when I come off mute?
No, like you guys have just like straight up played Nintendo music mid-session before.
Yeah.
Funny.
I'm sure that's...
I've had to very quickly scramble to mute it.
That's not the bot just accidentally auto-playing a song from a game or something.
I mean, I'm sure like some of the background music has been like, Zelda, bad guys.
Some of it has been, yeah. Some of it has been like from The Witcher. Some of it has been from like Darkest Dungeon, especially like earlier on.
Yeah.
Don't tell Twitch that, and we'll be fine.
But that stuff's a lot more fitting
better be over.
than Super Mario Kart music.
Yeah.
Mario Kart wouldn't quite fit, I don't think.
Exactly.
Try it.
Right, I'm gonna have to dash off. I'm gonna finish drinking this coffee.
I was gonna say, I know you've got your exam, right?
Are you really gonna do an exam at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, I've been doing like 2 a.m. nights the last, a few nights the last.
Aren't you working during the day though?
Yeah.
Why are you doing these exams for?
Yeah, that's not healthy, dude.
Burnout.
He's doing it because it's your Cisco stuff you're doing, so.
No.